The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan. Okay, once and for all, it's pronounced live alive. Now shut up.
I thought it was live a live.
I thought it was live evil.
I thought it was die z die.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that loves getting into these wars on pronunciation of stupid.
The video game podcast that does one episode a month now, I guess.
Yeah, it's before, for a while, we did one recording session a month for 4 episodes. Now we're going to record once a month and give you one-fourth of an episode. So it's a little bit of a hybrid. Yeah. It's a little bit of a hybrid, but thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time. All right, just kidding.
That's worse than your fucking April Fool's joke where you guys interviewed Kojima.
Yeah. I want to do another one, but I'm not going to talk about it because I'll spoil it. But
okay. By the way, who are you? Because it's been a month.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Joe.
I'm Zach.
I'm A4.
And today, Zach and A4 are going to be reviewing. Or no, Zach
not
and
sweet. I'm off.
Yeah, Zach and Joe are going to be reviewing Live Alive.
You guys got
live
this.
like evil.
That's right. Live alive.
What is it with Square and like awful names? I don't understand like their obsession with.
Didn't we already do this joke like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, but like
this is it. This is the last episode with this title.
It's an old wound that just won't heal, and because they won't let it heal. They keep peeling the scab off with new stupidly named games, and they suspect.
What, you don't like Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD Final Remix Chapter Prologue?
No, not when there's one that has more games in it than that. I don't. I bought that one. I was like, oh, I guess this is it. And then it's like
I'm sorry,
all in one. I'm like, oh, come on. The one time you decide to speak English and you put all in one is the one after I buy the one for the Kingdom Hearts playthrough.
I'm sorry. Do you not like Nier with a capital N and a capital R? Replicant version 1.22474487139.
That one's got a stupid fucking name too.
I mean, probably want to put my penis in it, but no. I don't like the name.
That is not the one with 2B. That is the prequel.
Well, the one
with
chick's hot. The one chick's hot.
Kaine has a penis, so...
No, she doesn't. Shut up.
Yes, she does. Trust me.
Does.
Dude, I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't think it was true. Kaine has a penis.
You said if I didn't think it was true.
Yeah, but you
didn't
think it was true.
All right, I'll look it up. I'll go on the wiki. All right, Kaine.
I can't trust your Twitter, you fucking freak. I know what you draw. You love femboys, so that's all your shit.
Yeah, I mean, when it's too gay for Branny, it's pretty gay. Because he's literally
why are you
gay.
kink shaming, Zach?
I'm not kink shaming. I'm just saying I can't trust him because I know what his results will do. It's biased. Also, speaking of Branny, he was talking to us about playing, what is it, Diablo 4. And, I just kind of sat there, and he was high. Like, he was super fucking high. And I sat there, and I was like, hey... I was like, so wait, what indie game are you playing? And he's like, what? And I was like, Diablo 4, the indie game. Like, how did you get into that indie game? And he just did not enjoy.
Yeah.
He did not enjoy it.
Indie developer,
As a response to the harassment she received in her childhood for being intersex, she took a liking to clothes that emphasize feminine characteristics.
Isn't it a robot?
No.
Not a robot.
Okay.
No, it's just an intersex person.
So it's like the opposite happened to A4. It's when they were building him and saying he wasn't man enough, so he tried to become an alpha male, but fell in the process.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what has everybody been playing?
Kaine is very hot despite having a penis. What have we been playing?
A4, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a lot of Halo Grappling It.
Nice.
As you should.
Yeah, as I should, which is good, except for the mission where they try to force drama and have the new Cortana get mad at you and nag you for a whole fucking chapter.
Oh, you're almost at the end of the game if you haven't beat it yet.
No, I already beat it.
I was going to say, that's like towards the end,
so that's fun. And in a similar vein of forcing characters to be angry at you for entire chapters, I've also been playing God of War 2018. Which, man, there's a lot of times I really like this game. There's a lot of times I really don't like this game. Specifically, anytime you have to fight more than 2 people at once. It's usually really annoying because Kratos' biggest enemy is not any of the Draugr or like the Revenants or anything. It's the fucking camera. Because they decided they wanted to do a game where it was all shot on one take and it's right behind his shoulders. So anytime any enemy is not within the 20-degree cone of vision you have directly in front of you, all the other fucking characters have to yell out like, "Oh, there's someone behind you," because you can't fucking see them. Which is great when I'm like fighting a really hard fight like a Valkyrie or something, and then Mimir's on my thing like, "Oh, you've got to find some health, brother," and it's like, yeah, I know, because the combat in this game fucking sucks. But I do like the exploration. I like the puzzle solving when the puzzle solving isn't just the game tells you the answer.
So you're not good at the combat, and that's why you hate the game.
No, the combat just isn't good. Like, it's not well made because the camera's too close in. Like, I was decent at the combat in the other God of War games because it was like a video game.
They're totally different combat styles.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because God of War, the original trilogy, the combat is like decent because you can actually see what you're doing, and in this new one, it's like Resident Evil 4, but it's trying to be like all melee based, which doesn't really work for a over the shoulder thing. But I mean, a cool idea, I guess, trying to copy The Last of Us and make it all melee focused.
Yeah, I think they were copying Dark Souls more than anything.
Oh yeah, you mean like when an enemy will kill me in 2 fucking hits?
Yeah, kind of like
just
that.
because they have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am enjoying my time with this game.
Sounds like you need to get good, A4.
Yeah.
What difficulty are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on Give Me a Balanced Experience. I am playing it on the normal difficulty.
It's not an easy
no,
game,
I'm sorry. I keep hearing Schweiss talking about the new one. He's saying I'm playing it on Give Me God of War, and he's getting fucking frustrated and almost wanted to smash his fucking controller in 2 because he can't beat some of these. Because he can't.
Platinumed it. He overcame.
Okay, I'm just saying.
What do you think of Dark Souls, Bloodborne, those kind of games, A4?
Those games are good because the camera isn't directly in the main character's rectum the entire time.
Yeah, it's a little further back, actually, yeah.
You know, when I think of games, I only think of where the good camera placement is.
If the camera is directly causing the combat to be extremely frustrating more than it is satisfying, then yeah, I'm going to blame the camera on the combat being bad.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I did lower the difficulty, by the way.
I know you did.
I was playing the second one on the same difficulty you played the first one on, which is what I played the first one on as well.
No, I know. It's just like I hear you getting frustrated about like the Valkyrie fights in the new one, and I'm like, it's probably because the combat's not very good in this game. Like this game, this game is greater than the sum of its parts. Like just because the combat is more frustrating than it is fun doesn't mean that I don't like this game. But there are definitely times where I'm like, did they even like play test this? Because I just have all these fucking enemies that like come up from behind me and I can't fucking block or parry. Even when I try to dodge, there's just times where like the attack still hits me because like it shows you the yellow or the red circle that shows you're supposed to dodge, but then like the attack comes 7 seconds after that circle, so I dodge right into the attack anyway. And it's just like I know I just have to get the timing down on that, but it's just like I don't know.
This is like a skill issue.
it
it
probably
like you gotta
is,
get good, A4.
Yeah, it probably is just a skill. Look, I'm better at video games than I am at playing movies, so I'm not good at this game, unfortunately. But I am having fun with it. I just got, without spoiling too much, I just got out of Helheim for the second time, and I just got a key that I need to do a thing. So I'm like 2/3 through the game, I think.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah.
How lame do you have to be sitting there watching a movie and be like, man, I'm really bad at this movie? Like,
yeah,
I'm just bad at this movie.
I mean, the movie itself might be bad, not just in terms of the execution of how you play the movie, but also like some of the character motivations. Like I said, I'm really not a huge fan of when we got to force a character to act like a fucking idiot in order to like force drama for an entire chapter, especially when it's an annoying fucking kid that I don't give a singular shit about. Or
That's
when
your son, you fucker.
It's not my son, it's Kratos' son. I have no attachment to this kid whatsoever.
I don't even have sperm.
Well, okay, look. It's like a thing. No, because I know.
How am I supposed to be connected?
I play video games for escapism. Even if I had kids, I wouldn't be playing video games to try and fucking babysit a petulant child, okay? I want to play video games to be cool. That's the difference.
It's cool to have kids.
It is cool to have kids. It's not cool when the kid's a fucking asshole half the time because he's like retarded.
Yeah, no, he is an annoying character.
I think you're finally viewing what your father viewed. And
No,
I'm viewing.
No, I never acted like that kid. Not once, because that kid has to make dumb decisions so that the plot can move forward and have fake drama. It's
I feel like
thing.
art school is a dumb decision to move the plot
Art
forward.
school is a dumb decision.
Before, have you met any kids? I'm gonna tell you something. They're all dumb.
I know they're all
Every
dumb,
single
but I'm playing a
child
video
is an
game. I don't want the kid to be dumb. At least when I play The Walking Dead by Telltale, Clementine's not dumb. Clementine's like a normal
You
kid.
want to have that? You want to have that kid that never exists? It's like the super smart whiz kid that I see in these fucking Final Fantasy games. That never exists in real life.
Clementine in The Walking Dead Telltale isn't even like a super smart whiz kid. She's just not annoying. That's the difference.
Even
Whereas
if
like
that-
Atreus has to, as soon as he finds out he's a god, spoilers for a fucking 5-year-old game, as soon as Atreus finds out he's a god, all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna be a big fucking idiot and try to fight everyone and get needlessly mad at everything. And I'm like, I can see what you're doing and I don't care. Get to the part where he gets mad at Kratos and then they have a big fight so they can make up so I can get back to playing the video game, please. Jesus Christ.
Sounds like you're having a petulant child reaction.
Sounds
right?
like
I am having a petulant child reaction to this because God of War used to be cool before Kratos got turned into a fucking babysitter.
Still pretty cool.
Pick up
man.
the blocks, boy.
Oh,
Anyway, God of War 2018 is all right. I guess I like it.
Throw
I don't
away
like it
your
as much as the
diaper.
original. I don't like it as much as the real God of War games that came out before it, but it's a good game. It's a solid game.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
you need a sex mini game. I think they neutered Kratos
You
a little
do!
bit too much. I think they I don't know. I don't think they go too hard with like emasculating him, but in some degrees
They
do
don't.
a little bit.
I'm obviously playing it up, but it's just like this might as well be a completely different fucking character. And honestly, the coolest parts of this game for me so far are the parts where it connects to the original trilogy. Like when you get the Blades of Chaos,
Oh, yeah,
or
that
when
was
like
amazing.
you're on this ship and you see Zeus and Kratos is
Helheim.
fighting it. Yeah, and I'm like, all right, this is fucking rad. Like I actually, because it's something I care about. It's not this new Kratos that's like a different character entirely. You know what I mean? Like, and look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the original Kratos, the real Kratos, was like this paragon of good character writing, because he also made really stupid fucking decisions in the name of like the plot going forward. Because like the first game was like a legit Greek tragedy where he kind of like regretted the stuff that he did. And then for God of War 2 and 3 to work, it's just like, nah, just make him angry at everyone and scream forever, because these games don't work if he's not trying to kill people.
God of War 2 and 3 are so going, Zeus, suck my balls, and then just like going through and massacring
No, but like
the entire pantheon and mythos
to
further his needs.
a cartoonish degree, for God of War 2 and 3 to work, he's like, I'm just going to kill all the gods. Fuck it. That I don't care if I have to destroy the entire world in the process. I'm going to do that. Which,
Because-
like, clearly they're trying to, like, with this game, they're trying to
He just wants
backpedal
to
that.
die.
No, I
But I
know,
mean,
but like,
no,
he also
but, like-
just, he just straight up destroys the world in God of War 3.
Yeah,
Like,
and then he realizes there's a bad mistake, and that's why when he's in
and
the
I
queue,
and
he's
I
like,
get that they're
fucked
walking
up.
it back with this one. I do, but it rings a little hollow when the same guy who directed this one is the guy who directed God of War 2, which is the one that had to like have all these weird retcons to make the story even work. Where it's like, this game never needed a sequel. I'm glad God of War 2 and 3 exist. They're fun. They're cool games, but it's just like, they clearly didn't plan to have more God of War games than the first one, based on how like the story kind of plays out in that trilogy. God of War 2 and 3, it just seems like we need Kratos to be mad again. Even though they gave him godhood at the end of the first one, let's make it so they take it away from him. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make
you don't get to bitch about that, because Branny and Craig bitched about Tears of the Kingdom because you lose all your hearts and all of your stamina.
That has nothing
and the
to do.
Master Sword, yes. And you said that it made sense because it's the beginning of the game, and you made a whole.
Because it's been like 20.
You made a whole thing standing up for that stuff.
I was talking about the weapon degradation making sense. I didn't have a problem with that. If it makes sense that Link wouldn't have as many hearts because it's a new video game. Like they find every stupid reason to get rid of.
That's
like
why they
found a fucking reason to get rid of all of Kratos' powers at the beginning of it. Okay, that's what you thought I was talking about. No, I'm talking about how, like, at the end of God of War 1, they're like, okay, this guy wants to die. We're not going to let him die. We're not going to take care of the thing that we said we'd take care of. We're also going to make him a god. This certainly won't bite us in the ass later. It's just like...
Well, I mean, Zeus isn't known to be the smartest person.
And I get that the Greek gods are very petty and, like, kind of dumb in that sense, but it's just like... It's kind of like this weird dissonance where, like, the ending of God of War 1, it almost seemed like they never planned for that game to ever have sequels.
Yeah. Well,
especially when the sequel's like, we made you a god, fuck you, actually. And then Kratos is like, okay, well, that was the worst mistake you ever could have made, because now I'm just kill all you guys, so...
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars is the same way. They didn't plan for a sequel. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not deserving of one. Or
Star Wars... They might not have planned for a sequel past A New Hope, but, like, the story still feels a little more coherent. Like, it doesn't have to, like, weirdly retcon some stuff or, like, have characters make decisions in the first one that, like, later come back to be like, I don't know why we ever made you a god in the first place.
Well, I mean,
clearly an insane person.
You could have the question of, I don't know why we ever made it a weird love triangle between the two brother and sisters and then Han Solo. Because in that movie, they weren't related yet. They weren't related until later.
That's fair. All right, that's fair.
But that just means God of War 1 is a good story all on its own. It's just more self-contained.
I think the story of God of War 1's story is the best of that original trilogy, just by virtue of it being its own, like, standalone thing. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind the story in this new one. I think it's fine. And I really like the parts where it connects to that original trilogy. It's, like, interesting to see how Kratos came to, like, Norway or wherever the fuck. And like sort of how he's dealing with. I don't know, dude. I'm not a Norse file like you are.
He's in Midgard, bro.
Okay, what is Midgard but, like, the realm that Earth exists on?
Well, I mean, it's kind of. So, I mean, it's not Earth. Yeah, that's where humanity's at. Is all Midgard. That's where humanity's at, and, like, that's just where because that's not Earth. I mean, it's like the Greece in God of War isn't Greece. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like
he literally like they literally name drop Greece in this game when Mimir's like, oh, by the way, I knew you were Greek, by the way, because you said Athena. And then later he's talking about, like, wine from some obscure island off the coast of Greece, like Lemnos or something. And I'm like, I guess this takes place on Earth. I don't know. I mean, I know gods never existed, but, like...
It's like a way of... It's like a History Channel way of dealing with it. It's like, well, you know, maybe they were real. Maybe
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the game about the screaming, angry gray guy who has, like, 2 fucking blades seared onto his fucking arms is based in reality. But, like, I assume if we're in Greece and then, like, somewhere in the Netherlands in the next series, we're on Earth.
Yeah, it is. It's all on Earth. It's like the way it is. It's like you're in Greece. He was in Greece, and then now he's in Sweden, right? And now he's fighting their gods.
Because when he destroyed, like, Greece, that would have had, like, global consequences.
That's what I thought, but apparently it's like we gotta make more of these things.
There's no way. He's traveling around somehow. Like, because if you look at like the tree and shit, like, there's different planes of existence. There has to be more. Like,
now,
there's no way.
Are you trying to tell me this is like a Marvel multiverse of madness type shit?
I think it's just something they didn't think through, and they are on the same planet. It's just a way of, like, respecting the beliefs of, like, the gods of different civilizations, as if they were real.
When he destroyed the world at the end of God of War 3, it was just the Greek pantheon. So as soon as you got out of Greece, he's just like, oh, it's sunny again. Okay, well, whatever, fuck it.
Like,
there's no. He's, like, rowing his little boat across the infinite ocean, and he's like, oh, there's no, okay, Greenland, cool.
Yeah, or is it Iceland? I don't know.
Why would they call the icy one Greenland, and why would they call the green one Iceland?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I'm going to ask these stupid gods, and that's what it starts it all.
And as much as I shit on Atreus, there are good moments, like when they're riding the elevator up and he's talking about the wine, and he offers him a sip. And the kid's like, and then he just takes like a huge swig of it. He's like, and I'm like, all right, that's a good ass moment. I like that. There's some good moments in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, it's not the same series.
Yeah. Speaking of not the same series, I have been playing Final Fantasy 16. Which,
okay.
My thing is, it's a weird Final Fantasy, I say. They definitely really liked Game of Thrones, which works for me because I also really like Game of Thrones. They really, really like Game of Thrones, and I think that this game feels like what 12 would have felt like if I had played more Final Fantasies before playing 12. Because when I played FF12, I played a little bit of FF8, never could get far because I didn't understand that I wasn't supposed to level up, and the game just got harder and harder, and I wasn't very good at it. I had played 7 all the way, I had played 10 all the way right before the 12 came out. So when I got 12, it was kind of weird, but it didn't really faze me. And 16 is definitely weird. Not in similar ways, but not at the same time. It's kind of a weird thing. It's an odd game, but
yeah, it's given up on its battle system roots, like, completely. It's just completely let it go.
Yeah.
We have potions, high potions, and you have summons, sorta. That's it. It's an action game past that. Like,
yeah.
Even 15 was also.
Yeah, it was barely an RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
barely.
Like, unlike 15, this one actually has action instead of you just holding a button down.
Yeah.
I will say it's also, in addition to the action combat, it is also, the tone of it is very different from Final Fantasy throughout a lot of it.
Yeah, I would say that's another area where it mirrors 12 a lot. There's a lot of map splaining.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, here's the map. Okay, these guys are fighting right now.
Oh.
These guys fought before, and that's when I tune out because I'm like,
The kingdom of Brenadir is going up against the empire of Schwarzenstein.
That's when I tune out normally because I'm like,
Sambrek, Dalmekia, Waloed.
I'm not going to listen to your fake history. Sorry.
It really,
that game's so fucking bad, dude.
You were saying that they really like Game of Thrones. Would you say that this is like they're really targeting the Western audience with this one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's Game of Thrones fan fiction for the first half.
Yeah, like close. Like you got
Luckily, it turns into a Final Fantasy game in the second half, but it's fucking Game of Thrones fan fiction for the first half, and it's off-puttingly close to the plot of Game of Thrones in many, many ways.
Yeah, like you got your dude. He's like he ran away from home after his home was like devastated, and he's got a pet dog. You know, they're both like vagabonds. He's discovering himself. You know, he
pet dog, evil blonde queen, a gay knight.
Jon Snow has a small dick.
Probably. Yeah. He knows how to get
it's just mentioned. It's just
a missing brother with powers.
Yeah.
There's a force looming over the entire all the worlds while they're there. They turn bluish white, I would say. They're not zombies, but they are zombies. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, it's like the more you think about it, the more it's like the same.
I'm so excited because I want to play this game. Like,
it's
I really,
good.
really want to play this game.
It's like kind of weirdly easy though. Like it's like very well balanced to the point where
there's a lot of accessibility options, right? Because there was that one video that was going around of like a games journalist literally playing with one hand.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously that's that extreme case, obviously.
How dare people play with one hand?
There's only one difficulty level, but they give you like these rings that will automatically do things.
Rings of power. Is it Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones?
No, not quite.
Are there black dwarves?
But it does
God no.
Oh, by the way, that's the other thing with God of War. Joe and Schweiss are Sindel and Brock, whatever the fuck.
Sindri and Brock. Yeah. I thought the same thing when I was playing God of War Ragnarok 2. I was playing with Brock, and I'm like, I love hanging out with Schweiss in this game.
Yeah.
They even have the same personalities because Brock is just like, I'll just piss all over it, it'll be fine. And Sindri's just like, oh god. You pissed all over. That's another thing I hate about the new God of War. They made him a germaphobe. They're like trying to explain microbes in Norse mythology, and it's like, shut up. Those don't exist.
Hey, he makes an airplane too. Just wait for that.
Is that in Ragnarok? Or?
No, that's in yours.
Ah,
prepare to fly, boy.
How far are you in 16?
I am just about to fight the Titan guy. They took me captive, and
I'll be right back.
Okay, that's probably the midpoint of the story.
Yeah.
But then there's lots of more extra stuff opens up.
Nice.
So if you just fucking put blinders on and went through the story, you're halfway. But I don't think you're halfway.
Yeah. I got the move. There's some cool moves in this game, A4. Like the one that I'm obsessed with now. I like summon a tornado, and it like picks up all the little guys, and they're just flying around taking damage the whole time. And while they're in there, I zap them with Judgment Bolt from Ramu. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, every time I do it, I have to whisper like, "I am the storm" to myself.
Rising Phoenix will... Is it Rising Phoenix? No, it's something Rebirth. Whatever it is.
Roberto Phoenix.
The big Phoenix move. That one will melt guys if it's mastered all the way. It'll just like...
I love the tornado because they're just like fucked, man. And it lasts for a long time.
I love the tornado too, but people on the fucking... Whenever I'm streaming it, people question my use of the tornado. They're like, it takes forever, has a big cooldown, you can't see what's on the screen, and I'm like...
That's true.
As soon as I started listening, there was like one guy in the chat, and he started like saying shit about how I should play. As soon as I started doing that, I was like on this hunt, and I just kept on getting like fucking blasted because this fucking guy was like screwing up my shit. I was like, I had a pattern, man. I knew how to play the game, and then you made me forget how to play the game.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I mean, when I did the coral fight right before I got captured, the tornado was more of a hindrance because I couldn't see shit. But when it's like a bunch of little guys, it's so cool. Like we're in a fucking alleyway.
I love the dogs because they just go.
Yeah, the
like
alley.
Yeah,
that's where I started using it. Was in that town, and like there's just fucking dogs, like 10 of them, just stuck in this tornado, just fucking getting wrecked, and I'm just watching.
Well, you can use for like if you have a big fight. There's tons of guys. You can like grab guys with the Garuda shit into the tornado. You could be like, no, you're coming in here. You're coming in here. You're coming in here.
By the way, Bitch Tornado, another Ghost song name.
Is it really?
No.
Oh.
Sounds like one.
See how believing I was? Yeah. It's because your band sucks. All right.
You play anything
my
else
band.
For the last
We're going. This is the hidden lore is that I'm Ghost
You're
now.
all
that
three members. Have you ever seen them all at once? No. Has anyone ever seen them in concert? Absolutely not.
I have literal footage from when they were in Hershey that proves you wrong, but whatever.
Yeah, there might have been 4 people
Hershey's
there.
not a town. It's a fucking candy bar.
Yeah, come on. Don't be a fucking idiot.
Hershey Park exists, motherfucker. I'm going there this summer.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah, a whole park based on a fucking candy bar.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Well, let me guess. Next, you're going to tell me there's something called Legoland? Don't be a fucking idiot. How the fuck could they make one based on Legos or candy bars?
Okay, but Lego. To be
Next time
fair,
you're gonna tell me that there's actually someone whose name is Reese.
Yeah.
No, I don't know who Reese is.
And he's missing a ton of candy.
Yeah, he's got pieces.
Dude, when we went to, because they have like a Reese's like mascot that walks around, but like, and she's kind of hot. But also, when we went last year, there was a chick. There was like a mascot that's like a giant Twizzler, and I was like, "Ooh, she's got some DSLs, buddy." I'll tell you what, I want to fuck that Twizzler.
Yeah, I want to wrap that Twizzler around my cock. No,
it sounds like it.
I looked up
Literally,
Reese's mascot. This is not a hot mascot. I don't know.
I beg to differ. Zach,
okay.
We're talking about fucking a Reese's peanut butter cup. Yay or nay?
I want to see them. I want to see them. I want to see them pretzel cups, baby.
Okay, so as long as that pabussy is nice and tight, I think it's gonna be okay.
Pussy.
That peanut butter pussy.
Oh no, because there's the Reese's mascot that they've had forever. That's like the one that's the walk around. But they like recently converted one of their rides, like the Reese's ride, to have like new characters. And the one is like she's like a Reese's cup with like DSLs and fucking hair, but like she's
What the fuck is a DSL?
dick sucking lips.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you knew what that meant. My bad.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's like DSE. It's like dick sucking eyes. Like you ever heard of that?
What? No, you can't suck a dick with your eye.
You like the good eye contact?
You can't.
You can if one of
Which
the
is my
eyes
most
is
favorite.
if one of the eyes is fake.
Anyway, if all the
That's
listeners would
that's
just
the
look
real
up
stuff,
Hershey
man.
Park Reese's mascot, you'll see what I mean. She is
No.
hot.
I'm
I
doing it
think
right
it's a
now.
she. I think it's a she. Hold on, Hershey.
You
Hershey's
think it's a
Park what?
she? Man,
Reese's
you're having trouble
mascot.
with that lately, aren't you? I think it's a
okay.
she, but that might be a penis.
No. Okay, so the Reese's mascot that I want to fuck is the one from the ride. The one that walks around is not a girl. That is just a.
I told you this one. I told you. I looked it up. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Maybe I don't know what. There you go. There's the guy one, and the one I was thinking.
So hot.
No, the one I was thinking of was this one. I thought it was this one on the right. With
Even that one. That's like
What the fuck?
That's like
she's
a
hot.
dude. That's like an overweight Hispanic lady. That's like, you know how they got like they're like weirdly thin except for their big belly. That's what that reminds me of. Like a
Now hold the fucking phone, because I wasn't lying. I was not lying about the Twizzler being fucking a smoke show. Look at this bitch. Oh my god, dude.
all right. See the Twizzler. I guess I can get on
That makes
board
more
with.
sense. I mean, it's still fucking weird.
Yeah.
I think the best part of the Twizzler is
Love
like when
her-
you put like
I love her
when you put her
rectangle head.
legs over your shoulders and it's the little rope twizzles. Like when you like undo like a Twizzler.
Yeah. So
I
what do we
put a-
got today? Do we got the cherry nibs, or do we got the bits?
I put out the worst tweet last year when we went, because the opening area of Hershey Park is called Chocolate Town, and I just took a picture of the sign that says Chocolate Town. I'm like, finally doing anal.
Yeah. Nice.
Red Gumby. Yeah, that's right. Player by nature. Red Gumby.
Is that Red Gumpy?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Have you played anything else in that last 3 weeks, Twice?
I mean, I did play some Call of Duty Zombies. I played some Stranger of Paradise with Jake and
Why?
Roxo, because I told him I would do
It's
the
multiplayer.
DLC with him, and I regret it only because I don't really have time to play the DLC with him.
Hold on, I have to type in Hershey Park has hot mascots in my show notes for this week.
Yeah. One thing I did do though, I want to talk about just briefly. So, as I've been watching all of the James Bond movies, I've been ranking them, right? And now I got to Skyfall, which previously I had as my number one. I'm not sure now, because it's really the last like hour of that movie is like amazing. Like it's the best Bond ever. Like him holding off the fucking his old house.
The Home Alone section.
Yeah, the Home Alone section with violence and with more violence and blood.
Yeah,
Does Daniel Craig go, this is it.
more
no backing down
violent
now.
than Home Alone.
Yeah,
It's like-
slightly
it's like-
more violent than Home Alone. Daniel Craig is 007.
Does Javier Bardem or whatever that guy's name is, he shows up to the house and then Daniel Craig plays a tape and it's just like, just leave the money where I told you to. Hey, I'm gonna give you till the count of 10 to get you ugly, no good.
Yeah,
because he plays the videotape.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. No, so it's hard because Casino Royale is really, really good, and I'm not sure which one to put as the top one. I think the coolest part is in Skyfall, but it might not be as good of a movie. I'm not sure.
I think it's Casino. Skyfall is great though. It's
Skyfall is
definitely
really
up
fucking
there.
good, and that like last part is like. But the more I watch of these Daniel Craig ones, the more pissed off I'm getting about No Time to Die. Like the more,
Really?
Yeah, because it's a huge betrayal. Okay, like it's a massive betrayal. The whole idea of this Bond was like, oh, let's see, like a more vulnerable Bond, a new Bond. Like let's see what Bond did when he was new. Oh, oops, sorry. I guess he's just blank now. It's like, oh yeah, let's do a new Bond so we can just blank him off at the end.
We can jerk him off.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah, is that
jerk
what-
now.
And then
it off.
and then every good movie, they like set up the Bond verse. Like this one, the female M dies, right? They kill her off. And then it's the guy who's kind of supposed to be the guy from like the old Connery ones. Like Emma's a dude again. And it's like we're setting it up. We got the new secretary. Her name is Moneypenny. It's like, hey, this is the Bond origin story. And then 2 movies later, they're like, yeah, just kidding. Just kidding. We're just fucking with you.
It doesn't make any sense. Because the timeline makes no sense.
No, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Because the Bond in all of the other movies is like already an agent, right? He's like already good at his job. And in this series, they're like, let's try Bond when he's new. And then at the end, it's like, oh, just kidding.
I don't agree. So
I hate it,
here's
man.
the deal. The movie that set that up is Spectre. It's not No Time to Die. It's Spectre. Spectre decided to take all the Craig Bond movies and make it one plot. You got one bad guy. And then No Time to Die is the continuation of that.
No.
I don't think it's No Time to Die.
No.
I think it's Spectre that
the
did.
first 2 movies.
Spectre, no, you'll watch Spectre again, I assume, right after this.
Will.
You will remember what I'm talking about. He goes,
they do.
It was me, James. It was all me.
Yeah.
From Casino Royale through Quantum of Solace and Skyfall and then Spectre. He's like, it's all me, James.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, the dumbest part of that fucking movie where he literally says, it was all me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, regardless of that, this movie does it too.
That's the bad one.
And guess what? Fucking Quantum of Solace happens like 2 minutes after the end of at the end of Casino.
Yep.
He pulls the guy out of the trunk. It's all one like series of events. But what's annoying is they're like the statement that, oh, we wanted to try like a new Bond. Let's see Bond not good at his job. And then it's like, oh, wow, he's getting better. And then this movie comes along and it's like, oh, actually, he's complete dog shit. He's barely fit for duty. We had to rig all of his tests so that we could send him out to die against Javier Bardem, who's like 20 years older and
And this guy probably the one who gets like sniped in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it's awesome. But like, and I'm like, and then they set it up. It's like, oh, hey, M, you're the new M. Like, hey, man. And then we got Q, and then we got Moneypenny. It's like now that's the Bond verse. It's like set up, ready to roll. And then at the end of No Time to Die, they're like, nah, just kidding, just fuck it. And it's like I know the timeline is dumb, and I know Spectre makes it worse. Spectre and Quantum are both bad. But like, it's just such a betrayal at the end. They're
having a James Bond timeline is like having a Zelda timeline. It's like, I guess it's implied, but it shouldn't make sense.
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
I mean, outside of the fact,
like 10,000 years after all,
definitely different years.
Timelines.
But what's the movie where Daniel Craig goes back or where James Bond goes back in time and then like that splits the timeline off?
Yeah. No,
that was Skyfall. That's when he went back in time.
Yeah,
Ocarina of Time does sound like a James Bond movie.
Yeah, and see, like, I'm okay with them, like, oh, let's explore Bond as not, like, awesome at everything, you know, as, like, he fails a little and he, you know, has to get better at stuff. But then at the end of the freaking movies where they're doing that, they do what they did. And it's like,
all right,
what the fuck?
So this is the timeline, okay? It goes Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, all the other Bonds, Spectre, No Time to Die.
See, that just makes it worse. Is that an official timeline?
No, that's the only timeline I heard it from AG. If you are forcing them to go together, there's like 30 Godzilla movies. There is no timeline for that shit.
I thought Bond was just a code name, and like that's just what it was.
007 is the code name.
There's a James Bond timeline. You have to pick up the book Britain Historia to see the full timeline.
It is a book. James Bond's a book series, though.
He is a dude. He's a dude. Like it's actually his name. I thought that was a cool idea, but then
where does the Peter Sellers Casino Royale fit into all this?
Nowhere. That's a really stacked movie, though. That's got like a
all-star cast.
What
about Ocean's 11? Where does that fit in the Bond universe?
Not as well as The Rock fits. The Rock is like a legit James Bond movie, in my opinion.
And Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, The Rock. Okay, so let's say he blanks after No Time to Die. Then he is imprisoned, and then he becomes who he is in The Rock.
Yeah, and then at the end of The Rock, they pretend the same thing happened to him that happened at the end of Time to Die, and he gets away. Yeah, that's a cool timeline. Like, The Rock is the last James Bond movie.
Where does Knives Out fit in all this?
Yeah.
It's after Live and Let Die. It's after
okay.
Louisiana section.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh
Man.
my God. All right.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I hate the last movie. Like,
I don't hate it.
It's got really good parts, but what they wanted to do and
the
and
whole
then,
goddamn thing.
Would you say that's your God of War 2018?
No, because I really like God of War 2018.
No, for me, dipshit.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Hey, you call people dipshit, you're gonna get kicked off of this thing, A4.
Yeah.
Oh, they ban you for that?
No, Joe.
I'm learning something new every day.
I'll ban you.
Yeah, I think it's a huge betrayal, and yeah, Spectre does suck. So, and it's so annoying because they waste such a good actor on such a shit movie, and then they bring him back for like an hour in the next one just to be like, just like that's the last movie. They're just like, like, oh, what about the other organization? No, it's Spectre. It's all Spectre. It was all him. Remember?
I forget. Does he fuck the French bitch from Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Spectre?
Yes.
He makes love to her.
She's
he
hot.
makes sweet
The villain
love.
for Spectre was what's his name, right?
Christoph
the dude
Waltz.
that's in,
Christoph
yeah,
Waltz.
okay.
Yeah.
I've only seen Spectre. I've seen Spectre once.
Wasted actor.
I think I saw it in
movie.
theaters, actually.
I like how I did too. I like how one of the big things are like, oh, Dave Bautista's in this movie. One of the
Say a
stars
fucking
of
word.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he just gets kicked out of a train.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
like one of the best scenes, though.
It is.
I don't know.
No, it is, but it's just funny.
Yeah. What have you been playing, Zach?
Okay, so I got some.
See, Jaws got kicked out of a train, but he survived.
I thought you meant the shark.
No, he would have survived too.
The shark's name is Bruce, A4. If you were
Yeah,
a Jaws
bitch.
fan, you would know that.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not a Jaws fan.
So I played Halo. So last 4 weeks, I played Halo Infinite.
What did you play this month?
Live
6
Alive.
weeks.
I
Or
don't know
Live
how long it's
Alive.
been since you've been on here.
God of War Ragnarok. Ocarina of Time. Tears of the Kingdom. Hi-Fi Rush. Fire Emblem Engage. I played some of that. I just downloaded Starship Troopers Extermination, and that game is fucking rad. It's awesome. And it's in alpha right now. Like, they're still, getting ready for, the full release, but they're releasing a Horde mode for that game, and I am so fucking excited for Horde mode for Starship Troopers Extermination. That game is just people, because you get, local chat while you're playing, so you can hear everyone else, because, we're the mobile infantry. And it is just people. That's what people. It's just people quoting Starship Troopers the movie. It's the funniest fucking shit. So it's like me and
awesome.
a person who used to live on this podcast, Cameron. May he rest his soul on this podcast.
Used to live on this podcast.
We've been playing it together, and it's just us running around, and just hear people going, "I'm doing my part," and you're like, "I'm doing my part too." And you run and you shoot the bugs, and it's fucking fun, dude. It is so fun. The best part is, how that game works in the mode they have right now is you go through and you're, getting, it's, what is it, it's, gas, and you're, refining it, and it's, take so many back to this little base, hold this base, and, as you go, you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, threat levels, and it's, the arachnid threat level. And so as you go, it gets higher and higher and higher as you're, going through. So, they'll spot and you, kill them and keep going. But the last bit of that is once you get it, they're like, oh, you've gotten enough stuff for the Federation. Now you need to protect this, this grid thing. So you go and you build a base around it, and then all fucking hell breaks loose, and it turns into a level 5 attack, and all these arachnids and, these, bugs that shoot that blue plasma shit all start coming at the base, and it's you 16 people just firing at these bugs, trying not to die while they're trying to overrun your base. And if you survive and you protect this grid, they're all right, they go, okay, evac's coming, get to the boat, and it gives you in the distance, it gives you where the boat's landing, and they're there's a big horde coming towards you, you need to leave, and they turn off respawns. And so it's just you running to the boat, shooting arachnids, and watching your fellow soldiers die, and you have to run to the ship, and it's fucking fun. It is.
So it's kind of like Starship Troopers Left 4 Dead, which is to say it's
Kinda,
Starship Troopers
it's the people that made Squad.
What?
I don't know. Cameron was excited about that. I've never played Squad, but like, it's fucking fun. It's
keep
like
bringing this guy up as if it's somebody we know.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this Cam Eron.
A4, you're the one who doesn't come into the one chat anymore, so I don't want to hear it.
Which one?
Because I got hentai to draw.
The boys, the other one that A4's in.
Oh.
But it's fun. It's everything I wanted out of a Starship Troopers game, because it's just run and gunning as you're shooting these arachnids, and it's like if you hit like the nerve stem, it's like extra damage and puts them down faster because like the movie says it will, and it's like kind of say like they point that out to you. And so far there's only 3 classes, but there's like a regular trooper, and you have like your machine gun, and you like upgrade as you like level up. So like, the second gun's like a sniper rifle, but you have a jetpack. I've been choosing like the heavy, so I have like a mobile like shield, like it's like these shield blocks you can drop around you, and you can like sit there and like with your like heavy machine gun. And then there's like a medic class, but it's fucking solid. It's so fun.
Nice.
Yeah, but so that's all I've been playing is those games.
What do we got left, Joe? Or is that everybody?
Yeah. So I've been playing. Oh my god. So within this chunk of time, I've played a little bit of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I'm a little over halfway through that game. And then
what's the last thing you did?
I'm in the Ice Palace thing. Like
you're definitely more than halfway.
Yeah. I'm halfway according to, like, I got a long play that I'll check. It's like, and I'll see kind of where I am in the game, and I was halfway last time I looked.
Yeah.
So I'm past the Fire Temple. That was the last thing I completed. Yeah. And that's been going well. However, I did put a pause on that to here's the deal, guys. I'm going fucking hard. I have put everything to the side. On my Google Calendar, there is peppered throughout all over the place. Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 16. All these chunks of time ready for some Final Fantasy 16 play. I've been losing sleep playing another hour of Final Fantasy 16. That's all I've been doing. I have over 50 hours of Final Fantasy 16 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I could just beat the game right now, but I am going to do everything except for now, we'll see, the replay to get the platinum. So you can do everything, and maybe the filling out all the abilities, because that's a lot of grinding. But I can basically do everything in the game except for that, and then I'll go to the final level and probably call it good. I don't think I want to replay it, the entire thing, before our review of it. I don't know.
It's not like a clean 10-hour replay like 15 is, I'm guessing.
It's more like 7 Remake, which we did replay before.
There's a lot of quests in between the big story sections that are just like walking around, hitting the fucking quest button, getting a lengthy cutscene that doesn't matter.
Oh, so it's a game made by Yoshi P. Got it.
Yeah, it's a game made by Yoshi P.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, but luckily, in terms of like the amount of good quests versus bad quests, the good quests do greatly outweigh the bad quests. But he does have to throw in like 2, 3, 4 like dumbass sections where you're just like going like. There's this one part where this gal is just making a fucking ship, and it is amazingly boring. That's what it is. Like, right? It just like the narrative of the game just stops dead, so you can go do some quests, and you can help this chick make a ship. And then that will, affect later on in the game. But I do miss the days of like the Sid character being like, I got a new airship for you, and I didn't have to go fucking collect parts for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I miss that. But yeah, the story sections are great. They're streamlined. They're epic, they're huge. But then there are like the in between, like Final Fantasy 14-esque, like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, the bullshit quests. It's like, well, we're about to do the end of the world, but we got time.
But before you do that, let's go do some. Like, I don't mind the quest, like the optional quests, but like the main quests in between
when it does
will feel like optional quests.
Yeah, and that's a Yoshi P thing for sure. Like that's an
even
MMO.
though, like, he's not technically the director of this game. It's the Last Remnant guy, but
it's his fault.
It stinks like Yoshi P.
Remnant.
It's like Yoshi P walked into the room and his BO is still in the place, and you're like, look, I know he's not technically here right now, but I can still smell it.
Yeah,
I fucking forgot the Last Remnant existed.
It's like his shine. It's like burnt toast.
I forgot about the Last Remnant entirely. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I forgot that. I learned this a few months before 16 came out, and I forgot it, and then I just looked it up again. I'm like, oh yeah, Yoshi P is just the producer. He's not the director. He's not credited as the director. But I don't know. He could be like, the
could be doing like what A4 is
producer.
doing for Ghost. He's ghostwriting.
Yeah.
Make it more boring. Make it more boring and dragged out.
Yeah, Zach, you like Ghost?
Yeah. No quick cuts. No quick cuts between characters. You must let them say their entire line, sit there for a second and a half before we cut over. Wait a bit. Then let them say their line. It's incredible having had to edit videos for YouTube. It is incredible how much air they put into nothing in this game when it comes to dialogue stuff. It's not as bad as 14.
I've heard that's a Japanese thing because, like, I remember a podcast I used to listen to eons ago.
Yeah, Ultimate Final Fantasy.
They were making fun of Dissidia for doing the same thing because, like, I guess in Japan it's rude if you interrupt other people, so I'm definitely not Japanese. So, like, you'll have dialogue in Dissidia be like, Cloud. Sephiroth.
Yes!
Yeah.
That shit!
Yeah. And they were saying because it's like a Japanese cultural thing where you don't want to, like, interrupt other people, so maybe that's why.
You don't want to talk? You just don't talk to people? You just sit there?
I don't know, dude. I'm not Japanese.
I swear to God, I don't remember this being a thing in 15. Maybe it was in the side quests, but I'm like...
Dr. Roxo is 3 trophies till platinum for Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've been hearing very mixed things about 16. I'm sure I will play it next year when it comes out on PC. So
I mean, we'll have a very extensive, long review of it soon. Although Caleb Schweiss is twiddling his fucking thumbs right now.
Have you guys had a 3-parter yet?
Have a what?
No, because we just
3-part review.
When we stopped doing the weekly, we just decided to fucking
come dumpster drop that shit.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just dump ass on the review.
There's like a 5-hour. There's 2 5-hour episodes, 3 5-hour episodes in our feed.
Yeah, as we've gotten older, we've refined like fine wine, and all the like big history podcasts I listen to that come out with an episode every like 9 months. It's like 6 hours, and so I'm like, let's do that. Let's just do Final Fantasy VII Remake, and yes, we're going to take half of your day, and you're going to like it.
I just meant back when you guys were doing it weekly, like 10 was a 2-part episode.
No, 14 was a 4-parter.
Yeah, but that was
because you guys were doing lore, right? Because that doesn't really count.
We brought on extra people because it was like the Realm Reborn, but then we did like the original release, and then it was just me and Caleb, and then we brought on guests to do the rest of it. I think that's how we split it up.
Yeah.
So we technically did a 4-parter.
But that was a little different.
Yeah. And that's also when that game wasn't infuriating.
Yeah. So we've kind of done bigger ones, but if we were still doing weekly, we would definitely break this up. But I don't know. I can't imagine a world where we would have enough stuff to talk about where we would have continued to do weekly. So
yeah. Speaking of long episodes, though, let's talk about Live Alive.
Isn't it?
Hold on.
Live Alive.
Did anyone beat a game this month?
Oh yeah, did anyone beat a game this month?
Oh fuck! Bitch.
Yeah. The real question, though. Did anybody beat a game?
I did. I beat games. I did.
What games?
I beat Live Alive.
Woo!
I beat Halo Infinite. And I beat Fire Emblem Engage.
Why?
Because it's fun.
Because it's not on his list. That's why.
Because I was playing
it to piss me off.
Yeah, I did. I've been stuck on the last level for Fire Emblem Engage for like a month and a half, 2 months. Because the difficulty shoots up at the last one, and I didn't have the right people leveled up for that level that I should have. Because it kind of wants you to have certain abilities in there, so I fucked up.
So, Live Alive, Halo Infinite, and what?
Fire Emblem Engage.
That's not a real game.
Yes, it is. So I would have probably beaten God of War Ragnarok, but I have relinquished my TV rights to Rachel right now. Because fucking, oh wait, sorry Joe, I gotta rant real quick. Because Nintendo fucking sucks. Nintendo are a bunch of dirty fucking bastards, bro.
You said you had a Nintendo rant, sorry.
So this children's game console, as Schweiss calls it.
Yeah.
One of the problems, so you had the drift, those morons had the drift, okay, that was one of the problems.
You almost said you were getting real close to saying a Japanese slur there.
I almost did. The second issue of the Joy-Cons now is the little locks that keep it inside of the Switch. They break really easy because they're fucking plastic. Mm-hmm. Because, again, Japanese ingenuity. Perfect. So you have to replace them with metal ones so they don't slip out. But there's another issue with the system itself. The new systems will get to the point where it doesn't register a Joy-Con that is connected into it. It says, why do you have 2 left Joy-Cons connected to this system? And you go, no, bitch, I have a left and a right. And it goes, no, you fucking don't. You have 2 lefts. And you go, oh, that's cool. That's something that happens now with Switches. Awesome. Cool. That's fucking great. We got past it a few times and we got over it. Like, we reset it enough times that it worked. But it just won't now. So she's got to play it on the TV, which is fine. It just pisses me out of the system. Then she goes to, like, make a case with Nintendo, and the fucking knuckle dragger that works in Nintendo's thing is like, oh, you're having these problems? Okay. And so he has her, like, and she, like, tells him what she's done, and, like, to, like, test the controllers out, and he goes, do it again. So she has to go through the entire troubleshooting process again, and then he's like, how long has this been happening? And she's like, it started when I was playing, fucking Pokemon Violet, and it's been playing with this game, and this game, and this game. And I noticed it in this, when I played Breath of the Wild for this, I noticed it in terms of, and so she's like, it's been a bit, but we've, like, been able to get over it, but now it's to the point where it doesn't work at all. And this fucking piece of shit motherfucker has the balls to say, well, it's out of warranty on something we know is going to break. We know this problem's happening because people are complaining about it. And then says, it should cost you $90, but I'm going to do you a favor, and it's $30 plus shipping. I'm going to drop a fucking another bomb on these bitches. I'm so fucking mad.
Yeah. This time, there won't be any cloud cover, so the second one's not going to land in the middle of nowhere.
They're fucking done. So then, okay,
here's
this
Nintendo,
happens.
it's on site.
Yeah, I'm pissed. So then she goes to, like, they're like, okay, so they fight her on this, and then they're like, and did you know that Joy-Cons only have a 90-day warranty? Oh, fucking cool. Yeah, your thing that's constantly breaking has a 90-day warranty. A fucking not a year, not a standard goddamn year like they should. But no, so they're like, send them in and we'll replace the nub, the locks, with plastic again. Do you think it's gonna work this time? Probably fucking not. So they do that, and then they send her all of, like, the paperwork so she can, at work, she was gonna print off the return tickets. And guess what they didn't give her? Guess? The Switch system. They didn't give her the paper that says, oh, I'm returning my Switch. So she gets back on to their helpline, which has the saved text conversation from last time, and the person goes, troubleshoot it again. You have 2 hours of fucking dialogue saying, I've done this. And he got, do it again. My Japanese overlord. I have to commit seppuku. If I return one fucking Switch, I have to gut myself. And you're like, you fucking broke them. And so, god damn it. So then, like, she was fighting with them for an hour about it, and they're like, fine, well, you know what? You can send it in with this one, but we don't know how much it's going to cost to fix it. That's $30. You fucking put it in the text. It's there. It's there. They're like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
So these fucking people who made a system, the GameCube, that lasted to children, they threw off a fucking building. And it still worked. And then they have the balls to send the Switch out and go, yeah, eventually your controller's not going to be recognized in the handheld system that we made. It's just going to say, fuck you, you white devil. Like, it's... Oh my god.
The IR sensor on the Joy-Con detects your skin tone, and if you're too white, it breaks.
It's fucking... I can't believe it. I can't believe it, because...
Now, I've had Joy-Cons attached to the side, like, where it tells me I only have one connected, but I clearly have both, but, like, usually just disconnect. Obviously, you've probably tried that.
Did you try disconnecting and reconnecting?
Bro,
I've never had it tell me I have two left Joy-Cons. That's insane.
Yeah, that's like telling somebody they got two left nuts. It's like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I think I do.
Get someone pregnant, though.
One's on the left, one's on the right. Idiot.
But it's so ridiculous, and their customer service is dog shit. And like, I understand, being someone who works in customer service, I understand when customers are being shitty. But when you have a text chain of all of this information, you can't just be like, no, that doesn't count. You don't, because you have that trail that says, oh, we agreed to this. Like,
yeah,
it's annoying.
Clearly, you just have to buy
annoying.
another pair of $80 Joy-Cons.
Yeah, just buy the Pro Controller, TM.
Dude, they just came out with the pastel colors. They got pastel green and pastel purple, and they got pastel pink and pastel yellow.
I want the pastel ones. They look sick. But what pisses me off is, like, if your system has this problem, like, do they need to get sued again? Do they fucking need to have people come in and sue them again?
No, they need to get bombed again, apparently.
I think
lawsuits at least their worries.
God, it's fucking annoying, dude. It's fucking annoying. You buy this system, and is it nefarious? Is it them doing what Apple does to their iPhones, where they're like, it's just gonna break and we're not gonna do anything. You might as well buy an OLED Switch, because that's your next option.
Yeah.
That's your next option. Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know
how you guys keep breaking your Switches. I've had mine since 2017.
Dude, I haven't had problems with mine either. I have one of the original ones too. But for some reason, like, I mean, okay, my one's got drift on the controllers, but like everything else, like, I've never had any other problems. But like the fact that like a new system, like this system is like, she got it in December of last year, so it's like,
oh, okay, yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah, it's new. It's not old. It's brand. It's like new.
That's fucked.
It's like when my PlayStation. It's the Japanese, bro. It's like when my PlayStation 4 was like good, and then all of a sudden it just stopped working. And they're like,
it's the Japanese. If only they could be. If only they could be.
Reference A4.
It's. I'll never forgive the Japanese.
I'll never forgive the Japanese.
If only they could make. If only they could make sturdy consoles like Americans, like the Xbox 360, which was never known for.
Yeah, it never had any problems. Yeah. But I was mad about that too, because my 360 died, and they're like, "Fuck yourself." It's like 3 days out of warranty. Perfect.
Yeah.
But no, so my PS4 like started having problems, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, this game I've been really looking forward to, Arkham Knight, which is the whole reason I bought a fucking PlayStation 4. I was like excited to play like a month before my PlayStation 4 took a shit, and they said open it up and look. I was missing a screw. Some fucking jackass was like, no, it's my smoke break.
I thought you were about to say
screws.
I thought you were about to say something else other than jackass. Jackass.
No, it's jackass, and I just can't believe.
Find me that small Taiwanese child that put this PlayStation together and bring me his head.
I would have taken it gladly, honestly.
Allah help me, I will go. Allah help me, I will go down to the sweatshop myself and show them the bottom of my shoe.
I just can't believe it. Like the Switch, I love the Switch. I love the games on there. But God, are they making me not want to like support Nintendo?
Dude, why don't you just buy? The moment. See, here's where Nintendo comes in. Like on the third day, look to the east. There will be the Nintendo 64 controller. You're like, oh, we're saved. Oh shit. Oh
okay.
no, a worse controller. A worse controller.
I only sent the link to Dead Islander for the N64 controller for the Switch because he wanted one for the online thing, and like they're not in stock all the time. So as soon as I saw the thing from Cheap Ass Gamer, I'm like, well, I should probably send this to him because he's gonna want this.
Yeah, it's like they're just like, remember when the worst controller in the world wasn't the Switch controller?
Dude, I want that controller though. I wanted to play like the N64. I wanted to play Star Fox 64 on the Switch. Yeah. Like.
It does hit different playing the N64 games with the actual controller it was made for.
Yeah, that's the nostalgia.
Even though it's not a controller that's made for any human creature.
Yeah, unless you got like a club hand, like some like weird second hand growth coming out of the other one.
Your Quato or whatever.
Have you ever seen the picture where it's like that group of children playing it and they're like holding it in the middle and they're like they have like their hands like pinched and they're playing like a little like joystick? That makes me just unearthly angry. I fucking hate that picture.
See, that was like the beginning of Nintendo trying to do their like weird modular thing where it's like it's a controller that can be held in a bunch of different ways. Kind of like what they do with the Wiimote later on. But like, look, it's got 3 prongs. So you can hold it like this. You can hold it like this. You can hold it like this. And it's like no one's going to do any of that shit.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look, it's a controller that you can grab and throw from 3 different places.
Look, it's a controller that you can stick one in your girl's vagina and her asshole and someone else's orifice.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-ended dildo. Like the dildos with like it's a dildo and it's got like the little butt dildo on the side. You know,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
This one's got like another one that's another big butt one on the side that goes way out there.
This goes in the secret third hole.
No, it's so that while they DP themselves with the Nintendo one, they can also jerk the Nintendo controller off as well for the pleasure it's.
But you gotta make sure you have the Rumble Pack, otherwise it's not gonna be doing much.
Yeah, I do have the Rumble Pack. I have yet to put it up my ass and turn it on. No, not yet. There's still time, and I mean.
It's gonna hit. That Rumble Pack's gonna hit twice as G spot. It's gonna be.
At this point, you might as well just put one of the Joy-Cons in your ass because they have the HD Rumble, so you can really feel like you got like 5 balls rolling around inside your rectum.
Yeah, so like if I suddenly become a Nintendo guy again, you'll know why. But speaking of that, though, my PS5, my original PS5 controller does have drift now, so that's annoying.
Does it really?
Shame. Yeah. If only there were games to experience drift on with that controller. But
Diablo
sadly,
4 is sensitive enough that it picks it up.
That sucks.
But I just keep the black one away from the kids because that's the newer one. It's I bought them at the same time, but it doesn't.
But it doesn't got as much use.
Yeah.
Did you beat a game, by the way?
Fingers from the kids too.
No, I never beat a game. This whole
month. What about you,
Joe?
You beat a game, Joe?
This month? No, I don't think I have. I think God of War 2 was the last thing I beat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, on the PS2.
I mean, to be fair, you did a really good run on Ocarina of Time, and you're like putting shitloads of time into 16. So I mean, you have a big game and then a game that's like very hands-on.
I've done the math. I've done the Joe math, so hopefully it's not wrong. I did double check it. If I played 4 hours a day, on average, or a little less than that, it was like 3.6 or something. I will beat every game I have for every podcast by the end of the year.
Hey, nice.
Now, I told Schweiss, what should happen is we beat the new clan stuff, we get a head start on UFF, and then after my marathon, where I'll no longer have to do a 4-hour long run on Sundays, we then go into 100 days of UFF. Now, I told him everything in his life would have to move over. His wife would have to be taking care of the kids.
Already does.
He would not be able to watch any TV. It would just be me time. It'll be me time 100% of the time. Or Final Fantasy time, really. So I don't know if he's going to be along with me on this. But, it's like paying off the house early is what I said. Because if we keep on going into time, we have interest to pay. that interest is like the thing is always there. It's always a stress, skin in the way of shit all the time. But we could fucking plow and beat all these games before January. I'm just saying. 100 days of UFF. It can be done. The math.
Wait, after when?
After September 9th.
Ugh. September 9th
Actually, no,
to January?
I think the problem is too is that's when like it starts picking up for the USPS too though. That's gonna be brutal.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to
because you're gonna start getting into P.
Front load it.
And
is it the same in that season where you're still not allowed to work over 40 hours twice?
I mean, I work over 40 now. I just don't get paid.
Okay, why the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
I would not do that. I would be like, see ya. Bye-bye.
Yeah. But I mean, that's why I get promoted. Because I'm willing to do that. Now, admittedly, it is illegal.
Maybe 30 minutes.
Now, they owe me probably about a week. But I am applying for a job where I just am salary. So then I'll be doing what I'm doing now, but like I'm supposed to be doing it instead of just doing it just because.
God, salary is such a scam, dude.
I mean, it's a lot.
I miss overtime.
It's a lot. I don't get overtime now either. I get straight pay, but
I like salary. I like it better than carrots anyway.
Yeah.
The radishes.
I'm also going to be trying to sell my house in the next couple month and a half, and buy a house that's going to be built for me it's almost Spanish Fork, but it's Mapleton. So.
Wow, the rich part of Springville.
Yeah, right near the canyon in Spanish Fork. Spanish Fork Canyon.
All the wind.
Yeah, probably.
It's a nice area up there, though. Like, it's really, really nice. So that's cool.
That commute's gonna suck.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's only like 10 minutes.
You say it's by Spanish Fork Canyon, though, so getting on the freeway takes a while.
Yeah, but if he's working nights still, or graveyards.
I mean,
I've driven that area lots. I don't think you could get there that quickly, man.
No, I can. I drove to the freeway. It's like right across the tracks is Spanish Fork, and it's like US 9 or whatever, the road that goes into the canyon, and then I drive like 7 minutes and I hit the freeway, and I'm in Spanish Fork.
And then
I go.
That's
a 30-minute commute.
10-minute drive.
No, it isn't. It's like
it's 10 minutes on top of that.
Yeah, but then you go...
Then parking and then getting going.
Parking?
It's 30 minutes.
Parking? It's a fucking... I park out front and I walk in. I bet you it'll be max 20. Because from Spanish Fork to the first Provo exit to University, that's like 2 exits away.
Payson to your house is 20.
Yeah, Payson.
Yeah,
Spanish
but
Fork
that's
is closer.
Spanish, and you're not even right off the freeway like I am. Okay, dude, time it.
Right off the freeway.
Time it.
My work
going
is
the
literally
speed limit.
right off the freeway. No, nobody goes the speed limit. What am I,
time
an old person?
Going the speed limit.
Because
sometimes you'll hit into traffic. Sometimes you'll hit into fucking.
Not if he's still working graveyards, though. If he's working graveyards, he'll be fine.
Well, it'll be starting at like 7:30 at night.
Yeah, getting there at 7.
I mean, still, though, northbound isn't bad at that time of night. It's the southbound. That's where all the congestion is, and there's not car accidents.
I don't know. I'll time it. It'll definitely be worse than now, where I can get there in like 6 minutes if I break every rule there is to be broken, which I have done, and I've gotten there in like 6 minutes flat. You got to go in city if you're planning on breaking the rules, because there's a lot more little rules you can break and make up some serious ground.
Are we just not reviewing Live Alive? Is that what's going on here?
I tried
to start at like 40 minutes.
I beat Halo Grappling.
Halo Grappling.
Boy, that's all the time for a Nude Clan today.
Sorry, I only brought up the beating games thing because I beat Halo Grappling, and then you decided you wanted to go into a fucking Utah fucking geography lesson.
All right, so the Nude Clan Hog for the hosts is as follows. A4, King Hog with 15 games beaten. Zach and Joe are tied at 9 games apop. I am in last place with 6 games beaten for the year. Let's talk about Live Alive.
Live Alive is a 1994 game for the Super NES, developed by Square. The remake of which is the one that we played. It's the only one available in the West. Was made in 2022 for the PS4, the PS5, Windows, and I believe the Switch. It was directed by Takashi Tokita, who went on to be one of the main people in charge of Chrono Trigger later on. And this game was apparently like a big influence on. It was like he joined the company. He makes this game, and then he makes Chrono Trigger, and there's a lot of similarities between this game and Chrono Trigger. Mostly, like, tons of different characters, different timelines, different endings. That's all in this game. Music was composed by Yoko Shimomura. This was actually, I believe, her first project at Square Enix. Mm-hmm. She went on to do the scores for many classic games, the Mana series,
Mario RPG,
but then especially Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15. This game apparently undersold what they wanted, so it never came out in the West. It only sold, I guess, over its lifespan, like 270,000 units on its original release. The remake has since sold 500,000 copies. It's just hardly anyone knew about it until they made a remake of it. And it is Live Alive because it's the...
People knew about it
in
before
Japanese.
the remake. Like, it was always kind of one of those, like, white whale things. Like, this never got ported over to America. So, like, people would play fan translations and emulators and stuff in the West.
Yeah, they probably
it was
just...
a big deal. It was a big deal when it got announced as a remake.
Yeah, they probably just realized, oh, this name is stupid. I don't want to play that game.
Real quick, this game was a nomination by... They've changed their name now, but it's Moderately Upset Black Dude from California.
Yeah.
That actually tracks.
AKA Angry Ass Black Dude.
That makes
this is his nomination, and he's actually was really excited for us to play. So
does he still listen?
I have no idea. It's been too many years. But anyway, yeah, thank you for nominating it. The story is split into a bunch of chapters. I'll give you a quick rundown. They're all very unique. That's the thing about them. Yeah. That's kind of like the big selling point of this game. Not only are they all like self-contained stories that kind of like barely connect at the end, but they are also like they also have like slightly different like gameplay focuses. It's still the same general gameplay.
Yeah, it's still
style, I guess. But
yeah.
Would you say it's almost like a precursor to Octopath Traveler in a sense?
I haven't played it. Zach, have you?
I haven't. I want to. It's on my list of games to play.
Just in the sense that there's like a bunch of characters.
Yeah, I could see that, but I guess in the first one, nothing's connected except for like what's going on in the world.
It honestly sounds a lot.
This game, it is connected in the end.
It sounds a lot like what's that one? There's a
Final Fantasy IV After Years is similar.
No, well, it's the one that we played for UFF that was Super NES, but not an actual FF. It was
It
was the one with Cecil in like a store, and that was the whole reason why we had to play it. It sounds a lot like that game.
Wasn't that Final Fantasy IV The After Years?
No, it's the one that
Interlude.
No, it's not fucking Final Fantasy IV.
You said Cecil.
Yeah, it has Cecil in it. Yeah, Secret of Evermore. It sounds a lot like Secret of Evermore. You've got like 4 big areas. They're all different. The dog's there, but you play as like a different character.
No.
It's a totally different world.
Not quite. I guess there's definitely this seems to be the precursor of those games, but I don't. Okay. I guess I don't know the timeline. Maybe Evermore came first. So since this game, there has of course been Chrono Trigger, which apparently is really similar in that way. There's like 6 different endings for this game that you can get. I did 2 of the endings.
I did one ending, but I ended up getting one of the endings because I kept dying. Because when you die, you get the apocalyptic. Like, you get the apocalypse.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Mm-hmm. All right. So, you first have a level, which is like the prehistory level. which is about a caveman named Pogo who doesn't talk. Like, no one talks. They like make sounds, screams, and it's kind of cute. It's kind of funny. There's like, I don't know. I don't even remember what the story
I'll tell you
what.
I'll tell you what prehistory story is. He meets this fucking hot chick and he wants to fuck, and that's literally the story.
Goes,
he wants to bang this chick. Yeah, he wants to bang this chick. That's his whole goal in this level. And then she gets kidnapped by someone, but you have a gorilla sidekick, and he just wants to fuck. So he fucks all the pink lady gorillas, like everywhere you go. Like it's a thing, and like and I didn't know what to think of the game with this, like being the first one. Like, 'cause I did prehistory first, and like their AOE attack is a fart. Like I was like, oh okay, that's funny. Dude. Like okay.
There's an Imperial China one, which is about like this kung fu master, like trying to find a like student.
A successor.
Yeah, a successor. And then of course there's like these bad guys, and then they have to fight the bad guys at the end. And spoilers: the Shifu dies.
Well, so did two of the people, because you get 3 people to choose from. Who did you get?
Whoever was like the first guy you come across. It was like the
you can go out of order.
Yeah, you can, but I don't remember, dude.
Because mine ended up being
I
the
beat
first
this
one. I found
2.5 months ago. I'm doing my best.
So mine ended up being the girl. I chose her to be the successor.
Nice.
Yeah, because then your other 2 successors die.
The final level, I would say, mostly because I looked at a guide and it was like, this one's really hard, so save it for last. And I was like, okay. Twilight. The Edo Japan thing where you're like the fucking assassin,
samurai,
and you gotta go through and like you either kill everybody or just kill the demons, or then do a mix, and it doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
Because apparently you get like really good weapons if it's one of the other 2.
If you don't hurt anyone except for demons, you get a sword during your last level playthrough. That's like really, really powerful. I fucked up and I killed someone. I was doing that, and I was like running away from everyone. And I fucked up and killed someone I thought was a demon. So then I just went, all right, everyone's fine.
I would have beat this game earlier had I not tried to not fuck up.
It was hard.
I restarted that level multiple times where I was like, okay, I'm going to try it without killing anybody. Okay, I'm going to try it with killing every single person. And then both of them, I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing it. I'm just fucking going the bitch-ass way. Whatever the fuck happens at the end, I don't care. So that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah. That was a pretty sweet level.
If you don't kill any of the women, you get an extra person helping you in that like level's boss fight too. I found out, but then I got fucked into killing a woman, and I'm pissed about it because I didn't kill any of the ladies. But then I went into this room, and there's like these assassins, and they're gonna kill this chick, and she goes, "I need help," and you go to help her, and then she keeps going, "Marry me." And you're like, "No, thank you. I got a job to do." And you can't leave the room, and you have to go back to talk to her, and like it forces you to have to fight her. And I'm like, dude, I was doing so good.
There's also the Wild West, where you're basically playing like a Clint Eastwood. Yeah. The Sundown Kid.
Yeah, Sundown Kid.
Nice.
And you go out there. Of course, the bad guys are coming. You got to get the town ready for the bad guys, and then you get like
the villain of that one is like the villain of that one is the only person to survive from Custer's failed, like when they all got like killed by the Native Americans. That's like that villain story.
You got to play against Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
And
Mad
then
Dog McCree.
You get to do the present day, which is the one I started with, which is the shortest chapter.
Which is
like
just it's a fighting game.
Yeah, you just have to fight 6 dudes, and then it's over. And you're just like, I'm gonna be the best fighter ever.
And you spare everyone, and then the last guy comes up and he's like, I've killed them all, and you're like, you bitch, I softened them up for you. Like, okay.
You gotta do the near future.
That was long.
Is like a biker. There's a biker gang, and then there's like it's Akira. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of is, huh?
Yeah.
And then it's got like unnecessary.
And then there's eventually like a giant robot.
Yeah, that was sweet. But there's unnecessary drama where it's like the dude that you're like, the green hair that you've been traveling around with that has the dumbest fucking quotes in this game. Like, I laughed out loud because one of them was like, he's like, you're gonna die. And he's like, I can't die. Spits out blood. I have shit to do. Like, essentially was his line. And then he dies. And you're like, bitch. But, like, so his unnecessary drama is like, it goes back into, like, the time. Because the main character you play as and your sister are orphans. And it goes back and it's like, when I was a gang leader. As he's dying, he's telling you his story. And eventually he just murks your dad because the dad he's like, gonna call back. Like, he was gonna kill him because he's like, I need to kill you to stop the gang war. And he just kills the dad. And it's like, that was so unnecessary and stupid. Like, it didn't have any bearing on the story. Like, and it was just there for God knows why.
You also had the distant future, which is probably one of my favorite chapters.
A little robot.
Yeah, you're a little robot in space, and there's a monster that comes and starts, and there's like all these accidents that are killing like one member of the crew at a time. It's like Alien.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah, I know it totally is. But that
you're playing the robot instead of like the robot being the bad guy.
That level's disturbing because the body of this one guy disappears in the game and you can't find it. And if you go and check on his girlfriend, she has his dead body in her bed, and she's like, so you'll be alive again. And you're like, what the fuck? And then she tries to commit suicide by like shooting herself out of the airlock, and everyone's trying to stop her. And it's like, that's fucking gnarly as shit.
Yeah.
But then the game says, okay, so you get all those levels done. And if you're Zach, you go, fuck yeah, dude, it's just the final level left. And then it goes, secret level! And it goes, you're going to play as Orsted. And I was like, fuck!
I appreciated that secret tunnel reference you just did with your voice.
Damn it, dude. I was like so mad because I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm going to beat this and I can move on to another game. Not that I'm not enjoying this game, but I'm excited to get to another game. And then it's like, you want more? And I'm like, no! I just want to fight the bad guy. And then, but Orsted's level's pretty sick. You're essentially this dude, and you're like, it starts out with a tournament, and you're like winning this lady's hand in marriage because it's medieval times. And I guess he's your friend. It's kind of like, it's weird. And you end up beating him. He's a mage, and the king's like, "You gonna marry my daughter?" And you're like, "Yes, I get a jizz." And then you like have this like party, and you have this like ball in your honor on that day. And she's like, I love you, and I trust you. And you're like, I love you, too. And then, like, these demons attack, and like, the demon sorcerer man is back. And then it, like, goes into how, like, you have to go save her, and you go on your little RPG Final Fantasy quest. Dragon Emblem, whatever the fuck, quest. and then you go through, and you're like...
The last Dragon Odyssey Final quest. Fantasy.
Ultima. So then you go through
trails in the sky.
That was kind of cool because you get party members as you go along. Like you like find the guy you beat, and he's like, "To help you," and you're like sick. And you find this old guy, and then you find like the hero, the legend that beat the sorcerer, and then he fucking gets murked, which is kind of fucked up. So that's like he starts like throwing up blood or some shit, like in like the. And then that one takes like a pretty dark turn. And then you find out through
you can't throw up blood. You need to live alive.
You need to live alive. And he's like, don't live evil. And then he dies. But so then that one goes. That level is there to show you that like they're interconnected because the main hero that you play in that level, and it's spoilers. This game's been out since 1994, so if you didn't play it, you're a loser. Spoilers.
Even though it wasn't available in the West until last year.
That was the joke. That this man, when you go to save the lady you love, and you find out that she's actually in love with your sorcerer friends, and he faked his death, and they are both very angry at you because you fight the wizard and you kill him because he tells you he's going to fight you to the death. And she comes out and she like basically demonizes you and is like, why would you do this? Why could you ever let him win? Like, I loved him, not you. And your dude like goes, oh, and becomes an incel. And he becomes the main antagonist of this series. So every villain you fight has like Odio somewhere in the name or a play on the word Odio. And so he becomes Odio, the Dark Lord. And so he is the problem because he doesn't get pussy. And that is what causes the villainy. He's the first incel, dude. Like, fuck, he really was, man. Like,
what no pussy does to a motherfucker.
Yeah, and so then he becomes this evil person, and then the last level is you have to fight this ungodly bastard.
Or you could play as Orsted and destroy the world.
Oh, so you did Orsted's ending, right?
Oh yeah, I did both of them. So
okay, and that's why I didn't, because I wanted to, but I was like, Joe said he did, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, so let me tell you. So the reason I did it was because I wanted to beat this game as soon as possible, and when I found out I had like 5 more hours of the game left if I had played the good ending, I was like, fuck that. I'll just destroy the world. So I played as Orsted.
What Joe Coring does to a motherfucker.
And what you do is like you're in this like shrine area, and you're just the Dark Lord, I guess. And then you're just going around to like each statue, and each statue like transport you into the being of the bad guy from the previous like 6 levels.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to defeat each of the heroes, and that gives you your ending in which you like rule in darkness. There's also another ending, which is the apocalypse ending from the Orsted side, which is like, fuck these guys, I'm going to trigger the apocalypse, and you just destroy the world. And I did both those endings, and I thought they were quite satisfying. Mostly because they didn't really get how the game was even like connected at that point. I was just like, okay, so he's just like an entity of hate. These are heroes throughout time, and they must all defeat him. Anyway, you're going to have to tell me more about that.
It's just so, like, it's not... They're not connected in any way, like with blood or anything. They just happen to be the ones that destroyed that evil reincarnation of Odio when he tried to defeat it. So it's like, they just happen to be the heroes that did it. And so that's why he's pissed, is because they stopped him from his rise.
So what'd you think of the ending that you got? The good one.
The good one. It's okay. Like, I'm trying to find the... Because, like, so I found out after I beat it, each person, like, talks to him as he's, like, dying. Because, like, you beat him at the end or whatever, and because I think he... Oh man, it's been a little bit. Like, it's just they get like some lines with him, like each person like you play as or whatever, and it was just kind of stupid. Like, I feel like your ending was so much better with Orsted and like getting to like beat it. But the one I really wanted to do and I didn't because I was trying to at the end I was like I need to just rush through this and I want to get it finished. Was where is it? It's the Spin of Odio. I think... No, you fight the Sin, right? That's who we fought. If you talk to every single person in the game, like if you go on... You don't have to add them to your party, but if you go out and you find every other person, like, in their hiding area, you get an extra... I think you get a boss rush at the end. So you do, like, the one we did where you fight him and, like, you can kill him or said you won, because you have to fight, like, his, like, demonic form. But if you do that... and then you refuse Orsted's offer to finish him off after the fight, like you say, I'm not going to kill you, you have to do a boss rush of every single boss you've played. And then when you kill him, like, you get, like, this, like that's, like, the best ending of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's one ending where you have everybody, like you're talking about. There's another ending where I think you got, which is, like, you didn't get everybody, but you still win. And then there's the hero's apocalypse ending, and then there's Orsted's, like, his ending where he wins, and then his apocalypse ending. Like, there's so many fucking, like, ways to just... And you can do them all, because you could just, like, go back into the chapter select and, like, redo it. So.
Yeah, no, you totally could. And then the thing with that, too, is, like, when you die, like, it does give you an apocalypse ending. Because if you die while you're fighting... Because I died a lot. He was hard for me. Like, fucking Odio was... The final one was fucking terrible. But when he would die, or when you would die, it would just, like, trigger this, like, you would just see all the world's big timelines being destroyed as it, like, went down to him. So you kind of got that apocalypse ending, but...
So, what did you think of the story?
Which one?
You with the
overall.
I mean, the story as a whole, I don't know, because I really liked the game. I do like this game, and I'm not mad that I played it. But, I mean, story-wise, like, the only connection is him as a boss. Like, there's nothing else connecting these things. I mean, but the individual stories I actually thought were really good. Like, I mean, even the caveman one where you're just trying to fuck, because I get that. Like, I feel that. I can understand that. And
is that really the plot of the caveman one?
No, that's the caveman one. He just wants to fuck the chick. That's all it is. Because he rules. Does. They have a little baby. You see it at the end of the game. But so I mean, I don't know. I like the Shifu one. I thought that was sweet. Even when the other two get killed, and I was pissed off about that. I have to say though, I think my favorite like story, and I wish the entire game would have been this, is definitely the Orsted one. Like because the fact that you like start off as this like stalwart dude, and you're like super stoked because you're like the baddest in the realm, and you're like kicking ass. And then it goes to you losing your people, and then they're like, oh my god, you're actually like a follower of this demon king, like you're a bad guy, and then you slowly turning evil. Well, I mean, you turn into an incel, but like you turning into this incel by the end of the game, like it was like I would have rather played a game like in its entirety that would have been that storyline where at the end is like you're like, all right, fuck it, I'm the bad guy because no one gives a shit about what I did, and they all think I'm bad anyway, so I might as well.
I can't get any pussy.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked Orsted's a lot, but story-wise, I think a 7 out of 10 is good because it wasn't bad, but it's definitely not like God of War 2018 storytelling.
Shut the fuck up.
Or like I like that story. It's got a perfect score, A4, just because you're lame.
Wait, did you say 7?
4 different people, A4.
7 out of 10. It was great, and again, like Angry Ass Black Dude, I'm really happy that you submitted this because it was fun, and I'm glad I got to play it.
Yeah, so sad that you don't listen to the pod anymore, but so glad that you submission. It
just I don't know. It doesn't feel connected enough. I wish there had been some kind of more connection point than Odio being like, well, I tried 6 times and got my ass kicked. Like, Odio in this is like the Voldemort from Harry Potter.
No, it's clearly
teenagers
how
just keep kicking his ass through 7
It's clearly
books.
how being an incel stretches out throughout the vast reaches of time.
Yeah, they're like,
hey, all incels are connected by a common thread.
No pussy. Yeah, and those just like those who play this game.
There's a great Sam Hyde video where he's just in the car and he's just like, I can't get any pussy. I don't even want to. I'll just lick it. I don't care. I just can't get any pussy. It's fucking hilarious.
Like, I don't know. I liked the game, but like, and again, it's no Stray. Like, I mean, if you think about it, like, Stray. No, I'm serious, because Stray is a very simple but fantastic story. I mean, it won our Game of the Year last year.
You're gay, dude. You're gay.
Like, it's fun. Play it, you fucking douchebag.
I will eventually.
Stray.
I'll play Stray eventually.
It's fucking fun. It's fun.
Okay.
Don't let your
It'll be like
bullshit.
the camera.
Oh man, it just.
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm sorry.
It's hard to stare at this cat.
Sorry. I don't think Stray has combat.
How long am I?
Combat is Stray is so terrible.
How long am I going to have to stare at this cat's tight little asshole?
When you make a combat system, when you make a combat system where you have to put a fucking ring around the belt of the guy to show where threats are coming from, maybe it's not great.
He's gonna be like, oh, well, like the tail got in the way of some cutscenes, and I just can't. Don't know why you and Joe rated it so high. I just don't like it.
Well, I didn't rate it first, and you guys gave it a high score, so I have to give it a low score.
No, I'm rating it based on me playing it now and being like, oh,
I have to look at this thing with
I'm gonna give Honey Pop a 10 out of 10. But God of War.
Honey Pop is a 10 out of 10 because I can see what I'm doing in that game.
Is that all that matters?
Yes. Video games are a visual medium. It matters if I can see what I'm fucking doing.
Interactive medium.
Yeah,
it's also a visual medium.
Joe, what would you give the story?
In the term video game. Anyway.
Shut up, A4.
Live It Live. Well, here's the deal. Like, what it's doing is really interesting. I doubt we could find that many examples, if any examples, of this type of storytelling in video games before this, with its kind of like multiple story thing. Like the whole gameplay is based around it too. Like you level up a guy for that like 3 to 5 hours that chunk of game is, and then you go on to the next guy and he's back at level 1 or whatever.
Honestly, some don't even level up. Some just
you're just like going. Yeah, honestly, and you're just going up to the final boss.
The closest to that I can think of is Dragon Quest IV, where you like have a bunch of you basically go through different chapters with like all of the playable characters until you get to the hero. I know that series doesn't exist. I'm just saying Dragon Quest IV is maybe the first one that does that. Live Alive probably does it better. So yeah.
Dragon Quest IV. What year was Dragon Quest? Yeah, it came before it. This guy Takashi Tokita, one of his favorite games is Dragon Quest II. So it does make sense that he would have some definite
Dragon Quest II doesn't really do that, but you know what I mean.
Oh no, but he probably played 4. Is what I'm guessing. If 2 was one of his favorite games.
As if a whole level was about a Dragon Emblem little bitch, and then you're like, yeah, that's a whole level. It's great.
So it's interesting. And the thing is, the problem with rating it for story is like, it's pretty original as far as I could tell. Like a pretty original thing. I definitely wouldn't think about it or think of it. They are each individual stories. The issue is like some of those are really great. Some of them are just okay. None of them are terrible.
No, that's fair. That's very fair.
So that's kind of where I'm going at. And then I never really understood the connection at the end. I was like, I guess they're connected, and I guess I have the Dark Lord throughout time. So, you know. I
mean, it makes sense on paper. It's just like this guy has like been reincarnated throughout time to be like the evil incel.
Yeah, but then you have to like see that.
But the problem is he became that in the Middle Ages, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with the cavemen, and then just went to the prehistoric era for some reason.
Yeah, inceldom transcends time, Zach. Come on.
But I mean, to be fair too, like some of the people, like I mean, at least in the near future, they're actively like summoning him with a lake of dead people. Like that was kind of metal. Or they have a thing called liquefaction in this game.
What is this, Event Horizon? Like
it's crazy, and they're like, "This is all of those people, like all the orphans we've kidnapped and all these people we've killed." And you're like, "Jesus Christ!"
Yeah, some of this game,
a giant rooster, your Family Guy, you fight a rooster at the end.
Your Family,
kind of, yeah, basically. It does have that good '90s square melodrama in quite a few of the spots, which I enjoyed. Gosh, I don't know. It's hard. Like I'm teetering between a 7 and an 8.
See, that's where I was. That's fine. That's
gosh, I'm teetering.
I'll give it.
Heck, you guys! I don't know if I want to give this a 7 or an 8.
For the sake of its age and for the time that it came out, I'm going to give it an 8. I think it's really interesting what they did.
All right.
I wasn't blown away, but it's definitely worth checking out.
Nice.
Yeah, I would agree, 100%. And if you like actually like if you don't have to like bust through it, or even if you want to like pump in like you want a quick like game, like it's only like 25 hours, 30 hours. Like if you just like go through it, like it's really not that long comparatively.
I think there's a reason this was one of the ones that a lot of people wanted to get translated eventually. So, and dude, in fact, the story is kind of like all connected in that sense.
Yeah. So the gameplay. It's basically Final Fantasy plus a grid system that changes like everybody's effects based upon where you're standing. So it's Final Fantasy on a 3D grid, but it's not Tactics. I don't know how quite to describe it for the listeners, but it's still like active time battle, almost turn-based. But you get to move around, and when you move around, that counts as a turn.
Mega Man Battle Network, maybe?
I have no idea. But it is quite good. The gameplay is quite good.
It's fun. It's really
simple. It's really simple. It's really strategic, and each of the levels has its own kind of unique take on the battle system because of the character that's involved and like that character's very specific abilities. For example, in the Wild West one, you shoot guys. And you gotta get behind rocks and shit so that when they shoot you, you don't get hit. all those kind of things. Each character has like they basically have like these hit boxes, and like so you have to position yourself so that when you do get your attack, you can then hit the bad guy in the right spot. It's pretty well balanced as well.
Yeah, and I think going with that too is when you position yourself in the right way, like they won't hit you. They'll spend their turn moving towards you or trying to position themselves away from you as well.
Or they'll hit you with an asshole move from forever away, and
it'll be like 99 HP, and you're like, oh, I have one now. This is perfect.
Yes, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, combat's fantastic. And what also I think needs to be spoken or pointed out with this is you're playing technically eight different stories, even with the last one, because you have 7 characters that you can make into your party of 4 for your last one. So everyone's moves are going to be different. But I think my standout level, the one that I really, really, really enjoyed the most, I think, is, and it's hard again because there's so many good levels in this, is definitely the Wild West one, because it was just fun. The whole last final boss fight, you can go through and you have a timer, and you find out who's good at setting up traps, and you set up traps while this gang is coming towards you after you've explored the town, because you have 8 bell chimes or whatever until sunrise, and they're going to attack you. And so you can go through and it makes that level not stale. And the best thing about each level is the combat is the same, but like Joe was saying, but changed just a bit, that it never becomes boring or it never becomes stale. There's always new things to do, and each level, pretty much, when you level up, you get a new ability to use. Obomaru, the samurai, has so many fucking rad abilities if you just murk people. He's got some sick shit. And it never got old for me, and I really enjoyed fighting. Orsted's one, I fucking was grinding on that one because I was just having fun, even though I didn't want to play that one in the first place.
The only one that I felt was long in the tooth was probably the near future one, just because it was a long chapter and there was a lot of enemies you had to fight along the way to actually fighting the bosses.
Well, and then it's kind of I don't know. Yeah, I agree, because as well, you're oh, I'm in the giant robot now, and it's you gotta fight the military, and you're fucking goddamn it, I'm almost there. Just let me fight the chicken.
Yeah, but it's a really solid, simple battle system. It's just fun. And so, and that's kind of nice. It never gets super crazy difficult. Although I did have to restart one of the levels. No, I had to restart 3 of the levels. That's not true. It is designed in a way where if you fuck up on your leveling, which you shouldn't, if you're paying attention, you shouldn't. But I don't pay attention. If you fuck up on the leveling, where you saved or something like that, you can. If you're playing this for the first time and you're playing the prehistoric level, don't skip shit.
It sounds like you've had this happen. It feels like this exact thing has happened before with another game that you beat but technically didn't beat because you've fucked up saved
in a bad spot. Yeah, but I mean that is just a marker of old games that definitely no one should ever do again, which is having a save that you don't have a way to get out of in case you weren't actually fully prepared for it. And this has that a lot, actually. There's a lot of those. So this game rewards exploration, but even if you do 100% of the stuff in the prehistoric level, it's still only going to take you 3 hours. So it's not it's punishing if you're doing every single thing. And everybody maxes it out at level 12. So that also, and you get your last final ability at level 10 or something like that. So it's really it's not that bad of a grind despite that. So there's a couple flaws, but overall it's a really good old school RPG and a really fun one, I think.
So what would you give gameplay?
Gameplay, I will give it honestly, it's really good. It's really good, and I was having fun with it. So long in the tooth. Yeah, that's hard for me these days. I don't know if it really reaches past its safety zone though. I think I'll give it an 8. It's really good. It's really good.
All right, what about you, Zach?
I'm gonna give it a 9. I was teetering between 9 and 10, honestly, because like I said, I enjoyed it. I never felt like a chore. It never felt boring. The camera never made it so I couldn't see someone behind me, even though I can flip the camera around.
From what I've seen of Live Alive.
Oh, A4 froze. He froze.
In like the most flamboyant way possible.
I know. I'm gonna disconnect him. I'll let him come back in.
I wanted to see Gay4. Why'd you get rid of it?
Why weren't you looking already, Schweiss?
I'm catching up on the Discord chat while you guys prattle on about a game I'm never gonna play.
Okay, cool.
Oh, dude, he was doing our stream just dropped out on.
I know, but the listeners at home will be able to hear this just fine.
Not unless we keep talking as if they can't hear it.
Okay. All right. Well, now that he's back.
Okay, buddy?
Gafer?
Yeah.
Yeah, you froze on us.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys froze on me. We're good.
Okay.
Anyway, from what I've seen of Live Alive, it seems like it's constantly throwing new stuff at you from the screenshots I've seen. So yeah, that makes sense that you would like not get bored of the gameplay.
So art and graphics, Zach, what you think?
I liked it. I mean, it's keeps that 1994 style like they originally came out with, but it polishes it.
Like, yeah, they do like it's almost 3D, but it's not quite.
Well, because the remake uses the Octopath art style, right? Where it's like 2.5D as they call it, or whatever. 2D HD.
Octopath so bad. Wasn't that one of the games like we almost had to play with this vote? Was like Octopath Traveler, and then it was Live Alive.
That sounds like one of the games that's been listed many times.
What's funny too about that is apparently they're also doing a remake in the same style of Dragon Quest III. In the same style, yes.
That's cool.
This would be good for those old RPGs. Like it's. Yeah, it has the 3D-ness. It's there. It does look good on a new screen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like still holds the spirit of a Super NES game. So like that PS3 Scott Pilgrim game. I guess that's like that's my reference for those things.
No, I know what you mean. Sort of, kind of.
That game is so good. That game is so fun.
It's like the modern pixel game, and that's what this remake is. So just kind of scanning the Wikipedia article about this page. Apparently, the Ted Woolsey guy who used to translate all the old Final Fantasy games said that the reason that this one didn't come out in the States was because the graphics weren't good.
Okay,
I guess.
Sure.
And something else I learned about the game was that they had a different manga artist did that on purpose work on each section of a different story basically, so that it would each have like its own very unique look. Now in the remake that we got, I think it's all pretty darn consistent with the look of the game, despite being like very different honestly, areas.
Looking at the like Famicom box art, those characters seem pretty consistent anyway. So if they did have different manga artists do those different characters, I can't fucking tell.
Yeah. So it looks good. I don't know, like for a modern game, it looks fine. I don't know. I would have to see the original game and kind of like put it up against. Okay, no, I just saw. I'm looking at screenshots here of the original game. They are kind of rudimentary. They're not bad, but
I mean, it's basic Super Famicom, Super SNES stuff.
Well, yeah, they don't look like other SquareSoft games at the time, though. Like, I think Ted Woolsey might have a point, but either way, like in this remake version, like it was just kind of like it looked like something. I think they developed it on Unreal, but it seems like something that an indie studio would make on Unity or whatever.
I'm not sure what the 2D HD Square Enix engine is, honestly.
I don't know. I don't think they're using the same thing for the Final Fantasy games.
No, but like it's the same engine that runs on. It's the same engine that runs Octopath Traveler and this game and a few other things they're doing. Like, obviously, that Dragon Quest III remake is going to use it. Triangle Strategy uses it.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm looking at a comparison between the two games, and they did. You know what's funny? Like my brain right now, I'm so used to the newer one. I almost like, oh, this must be exactly like the old one, except for this 3D plane thing. But actually, no, they updated it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the old one is like pretty bricky looking, almost like NES. Like, yeah, I guess the original game didn't look that good, but this remake looks pretty darn good. It's not, anything like breathtaking or anything like it's not amazing, but I think it does its job very well and kind of like brings in an old game onto a new system without ruining its history. I guess it's not completely like changing what it is, like the FF3 and FF4 remakes did.
For the newish games like Triangle Strategy and Octopath Traveler, I think it works really well as sort of like keeping the sort of like spirit of 16-bit RPGs, while updating it for modern systems and sort of having that like very subtle but very nice looking 3D kind of tilt shifted look to it. Yeah,
so I would say like it's solid. I don't think anything in here blew me away. I didn't have the original to compare it to then. Certainly it does look better than the original for sure. I'll give it 7 out of 10 for graphics and art and graphics.
All right.
I think that's a really good place to sit.
All right. What do you guys think about the soundtrack to this thing? We got Yoko Shimomura, so Joe's already got her. He's already
here's the
tapping
deal.
that clit with his tongue. But
it's not. There is actually voice acting in this game.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah. So they took those text boxes and they voice acted them.
I wonder if that's in the Famicom version or not.
I doubt it.
I
very much doubt it.
I don't know. It's like full. It's the remake is fully voice acted, is what you're saying?
Fully voice acted.
Then that's probably not. But whatever.
But it's like the text boxes, and it's like almost like a Tales of Zestiria or something like that, where even though they're just like standing still, like you get the voice.
Right. Which, if the text boxes are fully voice acted, that would also stand in parity with Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy, from what I understand, in terms of those games like being of this art style but having full voice acting.
Yeah, it does straddle that line where it's a little weird, where it's like definitely old school, but then they do like. That sounds like a really modern microphone. Like the guy is dry as fuck. Like he was definitely in a booth talking to me. Like and then of course the art style is like a little bit like, indie game, 2D, 3D thing. And that throws me off a little bit, but I don't think there was anything like wrong with the voice acting in here because they did have it and it was fine. Like the Sundance Kid had a nice deep voice.
Yeah.
Or Sundown Kid, excuse me. Pardon me.
Sundowns Kid, yeah.
Yeah, the Sundowns Kid. So that was solid. Yoko Shimomura soundtrack, though, is freaking incredible. It had been long enough that I'd forgotten the soundtrack, and then I just dipped my toe in earlier today just to get a refresher. And, it's fantastic. I think she did an amazing job, and she always does. So, there's nothing different here. I'd say sound and music, 9 out of 10. Maybe 1 point taken away just from like the voice acting just being the way it is in the time that we have it.
Right.
Voice acting is cool and all, but I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because some of the acting is so bad.
Oh, really? It's been long enough that I've forgotten bad performances. So
is that fair though, considering the Super Famicom version wouldn't have had the voice acting?
Yeah,
we're not reviewing that one. Yeah,
we're reviewing the Switch version. Some of it's like really like I don't know, very wooden acting. Which again, that's not terrible because it's fine. It's just I'm gonna knock 2 points off because some of it was just stupid. Like. Not that I didn't like all the voices, and all the voices were great, but yeah, some of it's just like super wooden. Again, like I can't die, I got shit to do. Like, it's just, when it's delivered, you're just like, stupid.
I'm sure the delivery was bad, but that quote sounds awesome in context, where he's like currently dying, and he's like, I can't die, I got shit to do. So that's some Gurren Lagann shit, Zach.
And then he fucking dies like a pussy like 2 seconds later, and you're like, the main character is like,
it's the principle of the thing.
Okay.
And then I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10. The music's fun though. The music with each level is fun. All of the fight music I think is the same though, isn't it? If I remember right, like
the boss fight.
Yeah, the boss fight, and like, dude, it's a fucking jam, bro.
It's a banger.
And it's a banger, dude. It's great.
I could not take a point away from music.
Yeah, music was fantastic.
But I mean, it has been 2.5 months. Maybe there are some bad performances in the acting, but hey, you know what? I guess rose-colored glasses throughout time.
You got over it.
Unless it's no time to die.
What it was.
Unless it's no time to die, and then those rose-colored glasses take a shit-colored.
I disagree. I've rewatched No Time to Die, and I still like it a lot.
Did you rewatch all of the other Daniel Craig movies first?
I rewatched Casino.
Did you? Oh, so you didn't see the deepening betrayal over the course of a decade and a half?
No, I have not. I've not watched the Craig movies in a row in like a short period of time before.
Yeah,
I should do that.
You should do all of them, and every week you do one.
This is a fucking conversation from an hour and a half ago.
Okay, all right.
So our next one, is our next one replayability?
It's replayability. The next and last, yes. What do you guys think? Will you play it again? Do you want to play it again? Is there a reason to play it again? I know you mentioned multiple endings, but
yeah, there's definitely multiple endings, and I mean even within certain levels, there's multiple endings. Or I mean multiple things you can do. Because I mean, like, for instance, Twilight of Feudal Japan, if you don't kill anybody at all, except for demons, then you get a badass sword when you go to fight Orsted, or Odio if you choose to. But then with that too is if you go through there and you say, I'm going to kill people, but you decide not to kill any of the women that are in that temple, there's a person that joins you at the end because they respect that you didn't kill any of the women, and they join you in this battle at the end, so you have 3 people instead of just the 2. There is each person's ending plus Orsted's like 17 endings he gets for being the main villain, but I don't know.
You don't have to replay the whole game though. You can literally just go back and replay that chapter. There's no reason to play the whole game again. But
also, if you're a completionist, there is reason to go back because each level has a secret boss or 2 secret bosses. You can find.
It has stuff. It has
so there
stuff.
there is things to do, but it's not is there things to do. The question is, are we personally going to replay it and what we're going to vote it as, which is what I'm trying to figure out, because I liked it, but I don't know if I'd replay it. That's where I'm at.
I don't think I'd replay it, but it has a lot of stuff in it.
It has a lot of replayability.
And I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I'll never replay it. I don't really see the worth in replaying it, but there is stuff there if you want it.
That's why I was gonna give it a 6. Is I might possibly go back to get more endings just for funsies, but I don't know when that would be, and that might be when I'm old and in an old folks' retirement home, and I'm like, what's this game?
Just surrounded You're still bitching about the Switch's memories. Fucking Joy-Con.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time that I bought a Nintendo Switch?
Back in my day, the Joy-Cons connected, and we could use it in handheld mode, god damn it, and we liked it.
But Nintendo's still going to be accepting the Joy-Cons to fix the drift because they got sued into oblivion.
You're gonna bomb them into like a second post-apocalyptic society.
What it'll really be is back in my day, docking was a term used by a bunch of faggots.
Now it's a band.
Yeah.
Wow. Schweiss.
Yeah, Zach in his old age is like very homophobic. It's like docking was when you grabbed each other's foreskins and you kind of like jerked each other off with it. Not no goddamn console thing.
This has nothing to do with nothing to do with Live Alive. But what do you think of the band Dokken?
Gay.
All right, well there you go.
I really don't like them.
So Schweiss, will you tally up those?
What did you give replayability?
A 6.
All right, so to recap the scores. Story, Joe gave an 8. Zach gave it a 7. Gameplay, 8 from Joe, 9 from Zach. Sound and music, 9 from Joe, 8 from Zach. Graphics and design, 7s across the board. Replayability, 5 from Joe, 6 from Zach. A total of 37 out of 50 from Joe, and 37 out of 50 from Zach. A combined Nude Clan score of 74 out of 100.
I bet we totally undercut it from whatever the other, like the Metacritic
the original Famitsu gave it a 33 out of 40. Which is the lowest I've ever seen a Famitsu score in my life.
I don't know. They've given some pretty low scores before. I don't have anything to cite right now. I'm just saying.
It's a solid game. It's a good old school RPG. I think it has its flaws. Its age is definitely very present, even in the remake. I do think it's worth playing for people who love Square games, like old Squaresoft games. For sure.
Or if it's something that it got ported this last year, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a time capsule in a way. It's fun to play it and see where you're at now with not like Square games, but the games of that genre, and then even into it looks like it plays just like what's it called? A4. What's that game called? It's the one you've been quoting this entire
Traveler.
Octopath Traveler. Thank you.
Right.
It plays like that. I would agree with Joe. It's definitely worth playing, and it's definitely worth giving a shot.
Well, and even then, this was one of the big Super Famicom games that never really got ported over to the West until recently.
Yeah.
So.
Well, plus, to sell it even harder, it is according to Nude Clan one of the 100 greatest games of all time.
Yeah? What number would that be?
Coming in at a screaming 99th place.
Whoa!
What's around it, though?
Parasite Eve 1 is 1 point above.
Okay.
It's tied with Celeste, and it's 2 points above The Legend of Dragoon.
I would put this above the original Parasite Eve.
I would put this above Celeste as well.
I would put this above Celeste, and I haven't even played it.
Legend of Dragoon, I'm sorry, everyone out there, it is highly overrated. It's really fun, but that story is dog shit, and the dialogue is garbage, and the characters are all boring. Now, do you attack people with your one chick's pussy blood? Yes.
The point being, Live Alive is not have the best bedfellows in the Nude Clan ranking.
Yeah, it is beaten out by Last of Us 2 even. Remember?
Okay, hold the fucking phone.
Yeah, we've raged on Last of Us 2 many a times, many a night and many a day.
The thing is, we've raged on it, but me and you both agreed that it really wasn't as bad as everyone said it was.
No, it's not.
I literally heard you freak out over a certain character's death live on.
But to be fair, the character that kills him is very satisfying to play as.
Nope.
Yeah, dude.
Nope.
Yeah, dude.
Nope. Sorry.
You can be as dumbass as you want, but playing as Abby is fucking fun because she's brutal. She's fucking brutal.
She's a dude.
I love playing as Min. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The sound effect of her choking out a fucking zombie with her is a great sound clip. It's just good in headphones.
Yeah.
I'll have to take your word for it because I'm bad at movies, so I'm sure I would be bad at The Last of Us Part 2.
She also made me up my bench press game. I'll be honest. I was like, what does this bitch even bench? And then somebody sent me a screenshot of apparently in the gym there's a records board and her bench was 205. And now I rep 205 out of rage. I'm like, yeah, Abby, take this.
Damn, you're as strong as a fucking butch lesbian.
Yeah. No, that's her max. That's my set weight, bro.
Oh, okay.
I'm way stronger than a butch ass lesbian, okay? But yeah. So she inspired me. She's an inspiring character. I was like, no way. I'm not going to allow this.
That's so very, very sad.
I'm not going to allow this chick to outbench me. So I didn't.
You gonna allow me to outbeat you in games twice?
Probably. Apparently I'm just not gonna play anything this year.
Dude, what the fuck, bro?
Dude, just play Gone Home and
going on?
Bunch of walking simulators. You'll catch up to him in no time.
I don't know. My liver's probably failing and I'm dying. I drank a 6-pack last night and I felt like I had 30 when I woke up.
That's really sad, actually.
Yeah,
no
I know.
joke.
I don't do it very often, though, and I didn't have very much water, so that's probably why. But I don't know.
That'll do it.
So, final thoughts for Live Alive.
Never played
Live
it.
Alive.
I already gave mine.
I think you should play it. If you enjoy those kind of games and are teetering on whether to get it.
For what it's worth, For what it's worth, and I'm sure this sale will be done by the time this episode comes out, it is $35 on the Square Enix Steam sale right now.
I think it is a solid $30 game. I didn't like that I paid $50 for it. I didn't like that. I don't think it's worth $50. It's not a brand new game. But a $30 experience for sure.
I mean, like we were saying, like it's roughly, if you don't like do all the side shit, like it's roughly 30 hours. It's a nice little romp. You just get in there, you do your stories, you play as an incel, and you just enjoy your time.
It seems very unique.
My romps take like 2 minutes max, dude.
Is that what we're calling them now?
Yeah.
You were talking about James Bond earlier getting blanked off. I guess that's what I got to call me jerking off now. Because apparently I can't procreate.
Yeah. That is apparent. All right, so yeah, I guess thanks for hanging out. Fuck, finally we do an episode. Also, yeah, I love how like the one time I forget completely and utterly that I have a podcast to do.
You know, it only normally happens every week.
And everybody in the chat's like, "Oh, who's Caleb?" I thought that's what you guys were talking about. I guess it was Joe.
Oh. We were worried about you.
But I was like,
well, I
kind of thought you died.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I was like, Alex is going to be like, cemetery now.
Yeah, I legitimately didn't even think about it until like 9 p.m. and I was like, oh shit, it's Monday. Oh man, we were going to record.
9 p.m. for you. 9 p.m. for you, which is like 11 p.m. for me.
Yeah.
So.
And I was like, oh man, I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even like I'm going to cut it close. It's like I'm sitting at the in-laws after checking out houses, and I look at the clock, and I'm like, oh, 9. It's getting kind of late. Oh, shit. It's like, man, I had a plan. There was something planned.
Yeah, 2 shows, by the way. Now that it's been a week, I can tell you, I threw a fucking fit in my bedroom, and then, like, I was, like, I had some, like, towels or something. I was fucking whipping it, like, on the fucking bed. I was so fucking mad.
He didn't show it. He didn't show it in the call when I was in here for all the 5 minutes with him, but I could tell Joe was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I was pretty fucking pissed. And then when you got back a hold of me, I was like, okay, today is the one day I'm not going to chew him out today because he knows he fucked up, and anything I do is not going to change anything.
No, so it sounds like you guys couldn't have recorded anyway because Zach didn't have his thing. And plus, it's not even my episode.
Apparently, he found it right after. I don't know, man. Joe just kind of decided to it's like, all right, it's too late. We're not doing this.
Honestly, it's because my girlfriend was a better looker than I was. She found it. I was like, oh.
I was also like, I had very little patience with the no showing up, no text. And I was like, fuck it. Look, Zach can't get his shit. I don't want to deal with this fucking shit right now. I'm not doing it.
I'm the only one you can count on, Joe. That's just how this works.
Isn't that sad?
No,
that pretty sad.
I'm a great guy.
You sure are.
Fuck you. You fucking look like that. You look like the dwarf from God of War. You got a head shaped like a fucking light bulb.
Head shaped like a light bulb.
The one dwarf from God of War. He's got like a weird shaped head. It's like small in the chin area, and it's like really big in the cranium. It's weird.
Okay. All right. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Good pod.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Next time. Resident Evil Afterlife.
What? I thought we were doing Halo.
Infinite.
We'll split it up with the movie.
We were going to split it up with the movie.
Let's do Halo first. Let's do Halo first.
Here's why. A4, this was already talked about. This was already discussed.
Okay. And we had the opposite order than what you're saying.
No.
Tell me. Go ahead.
This is the reason. It gives you more time to play God of War 2 so that we can go. So we don't have to do
matter if we mixed up Halo and the Resident Evil movie. Because
the reason it matters is the 3 movies in a row thing we don't want to do, or the Million After Darks in a row thing. We got to do some variety for the people at home.
This is also the point where I tell you that I have not seen any of the Resident Evil movies, so I have to watch a bunch of them before I watch that one.
They're like, they're short.
Don't. You can just watch this one.
No. I'm playing all the God of War games to get to Ragnarok. I'm not going to just watch Resident Evil, 7, the movie?
I think there's only 2 that you have to watch for this.
Is Afterlife the animation?
No, none of the animateds are part of our
None of the animateds came up at the movie
the
theater.
good ones? The good ones? We're not watching the good ones?
Whatever, bro.
You fucking put some respect on Paul W.C. Anderson or whatever.
Oh, yeah, because he wants to show his wife off. Like,
yeah, she's hot, asshole.
She is hot. But they're not good movies. They fucking suck. They're terrible.
I have to watch a bunch of them to watch this next one. So I say we do Halo next week.
You have to watch like 2. Yeah, but then you also have to beat a God of War game.
Yeah, but we can do we can do Halo and then we can do the Resident Evil movie review because I'm going to forget everything about Halo grappling it by fucking August.
I mean, fuck it. I'm waiting around for months for these things. You just got to go in for like 30 minutes, just kind of like poke around at videos of the game and be like, oh yeah.
I'm just saying, I think we should do Halo next week. And then I think after that we can do Resident Evil because I got to watch a bunch of those movies. And then we can do God of War.
We'll do... Why do you say a bunch? There's not a bunch.
There's like 7 of those fucking movies.
You know what? How about we talk logistics later? And
before this one, there's 2.
Oh,
which Resident Evil movie is this?
There's so many Resident Evil movies.
Afterlife.
No, this is 4.
I don't know what that means!
It's 4. It's number 4.
Oh, it's 4? Oh.
We forgot.
I take it back.
We forgot number 2 and number 3. I remember now. Number 2 is the one with Nemesis, and he looks absolutely awful. Number 1's the one with the dogs covered in like
number 1's terrible. That's the one I've seen. I'm not watching the other ones. Fuck that.
I think I've seen the first one, but I don't remember.
Number 1, they're covered in Jello, and number 2, silly putty is what we called it.
I just want to find the Resident Evil film chronology so I can see what fucking movie this is.
Resident Evil film series. So we got films: Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Extinction, Resident Evil Afterlife, Resident Evil Retribution.
So you have to watch 3 before it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can watch 3, but I'm just saying we should probably do Halo next week before I forget the fucking plot.
All right, fine. Let's do fucking Halo next week. Okay.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
And then we'll play movies until God of War is beaten.
I might have Ragnarok beaten.
We could also do it After Dark next week instead. Like, there's things we could do. Anyway,
we can.
How far into Ragnarok are you, Zach?
It's pretty far.
I don't want to spoil it for A4.
He's pretty far. Where he said he was last time was pretty far.
I just got a new weapon.
Is it an explodey?
I met the Lady of the Forge.
Yeah, don't worry. That means nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know,
that one's awesome.
You're
that weapon's fucking wrong.
They're all awesome. But
fucking dope as shit.
Does it make the camera zoom out a little bit? Because that would be nice.
Actually, yes.
So the reason I wanted to do more movies, Zach, is because we don't have that many games left, and now we have a much longer list of movies than games.
Yeah,
but the games we have are long. They're going to take a few weeks to beat.
All I'm saying is,
for you,
I have a job.
The animated Resident Evils are better than the live action movies. Is all I was saying.
Like, I can dump ass on God of War.
No, but Zach, you were like, let's do After Dark, and I'm like, well, let's do some movies.
Yeah.
Because the movies only take like 2 hours to watch, and you could just kind of come in right after you watch them.
Yeah, I guess.
This guy's filmography is not good.
What, Paul W.S. Anderson?
Yeah, we got Shopping.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Mortal Kombat, Event Horizon, Soldier, Resident Evil, Alien vs.
By the way,
Predator.
I referenced Event Horizon earlier. That movie fucking rules.
The Three Musketeers,
the original Mortal Kombat.
Resident Evil Retribution, Pompeii. Oh man, Monster Hunter.
That Three Musketeers is...
It's really bad.
That's like the worst movie I've ever seen in the movie theater, dude.
It's bad.
I watched that that with my parents, and we were like, what in God's name is this?
By the way, put some fucking respect on Paul W.S. Anderson's name. He also did Alien vs. Predator. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know, but that movie kind of sucks too, though.
Didn't he direct There Will Be Blood?
Yeah. Yeah.
No? What are you high?
That's that's Paul.
That's the other Paul Anderson.
S. Anderson.
I forget there's like 2 Paul Anderson.
Thomas Anderson.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about movies. I'm straight.
He sued Paul W.S. Anderson into always using his 2 middle names so that he would never, ever, ever once be confused for him.
Why can't a movie be directed by Andrew W.K.?
See, the thing is, they're so polar opposite, too. Like, fucking...
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson versus Paul W.S. Anderson. Like, who would win in a fight?
Yeah.
It's like Wes Anderson versus Wes Craven. It's like
yeah. Oh, Wes Anderson gets confused with them too because it's another Anderson. It's like
really.
His are the weird movies, though.
I haven't seen Asteroid City. Is it good?
I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people say it's great, and then some people say it was like, eh. So, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
All right,
well. What we will see is a movie in 2 weeks, apparently. Next week, guys, join us for our review of Halo Grappling It. The hit accessory in the hit game Halo Infinite. So.
We just reviewed the grappling hook.
We're going to review the grappling hook.
Yeah.
That's great.
So what would you give the gameplay of the grappling hook? What about the
10
story?
out of
10.
10.
The story of the grappling hook.
12 out of 10.
Dude, it's the best grappling hook I've ever fucking played with.
Yeah.
I would say that, but I've played Just Cause 2 and 3, so it's not the best grappling hook I've ever used. So,
yeah, the one in what was that fucking game that was like Far Cry Primal? That one was pretty sweet.
Oh.
That's a pretty sweet one, but it ain't Halo Grappling It sweet.
And it ain't
sorry.
Just Cause 2, so...
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't argue with that. They're very different.
Yeah, I've never played Just Cause, so...
They're great. They're fun little games.
Yeah.
Either way.
Oh, speaking
10 out of 10.
There's like 12
Spoilers,
more...
10 out of 10.
Yeah. There's like 12 more Phasmophobia ripoffs, and I've got them all on my wish list. There's ones that are as cheap as like $2 right now.
When are we going to play Prop Night?
I don't know. Is that like
I don't know. Whenever someone...
It's basically... Prop Night is like Dead by Daylight, but it's prop hunt. So instead of hunting like people, you're hunting props.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, I know! I've fucking put it in the chat a million times, and I'm like, why are we not playing this?
I don't know, A4, you never actually play any of the games when you're invited to play anything, so...
I know. I got hentai to draw. I got anime pussy to draw, man. I gotta pay these bills.
And then I'll come in to play the game, and then I'll wait literally an hour and a half, not figuratively an hour and a half, a literal hour and a half, before even like the next text is brought in about when someone will hop on, so... Anyway.
Yeah, some origin stories for Joe's rage quit here.
Joe's going to become Ornstein or whatever the fuck the incel is from Live Alive.
Orsted?
Sure. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I never played it.
Yeah, I don't know your Just Causes either, you fuck.
You should know. Rico Rodriguez is a fucking awesome badass motherfucker.
I believe you.
You should.
Okay.
Those games are great.
Yeah. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. It's like a million degrees in my room.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Till next time, live always. And the live alive, live nude.
Live alive.
I can't die. I've got shit.
Okay. Walk with your fucking grappling hook held high. Shit, I don't know.
I can't die. I've got shit. Blink. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
We never brought it up, but I have no fucking idea why it's called Live Alive. I have no idea. Play the whole fucking game. No fucking idea why it's called Live Alive. Or I get Live Evil because you could either be a live, I guess, which means good. I don't fucking know. Or evil. What the fuck? Live is not the opposite of evil. Whatever.
To live
Camera's too close to Kratos' back in the new God of War games.
Anyway, fuck
play
off.
the outro.
Fuck off.